We want to start this program officially and formally. We'll start by prayers, and we want to move very fast because tomorrow is Christmas, and we have people here who have come from many places. We have guests from Nairobi, from Kisumu, from everywhere, Homa Bay, so they're just not from the village. So we'll go very fast so that we can release people early for travel back for Christmas. So we'll have prayer. We'll have some welcoming remarks and introductions. That portion will be headed by Mwalimu to do the introductions. Then we'll have a section for community. There will be something around him of the day. We'll allow some of our guests to speak. Just something brief. And then we'll allow the author, Professor Augustine Nafulo, the author of the book, to move the theme of the day. Professor Augustine Nafulo will take some time, maybe 30 minutes, to tell us what is it that he has written about Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech. After that, then we shall launch the book. Then there are a few books will be donated to some few people. The rest would be available to be purchased. The books can also be purchased online through Amazon, the US Amazon online. Those of you with smartphones, we can share the link. So you just Google, and then you can be able to purchase the book online. Then we shall end the day. I want to call West Moses Oginga to come and pray for us to start the occasion. I'm called Dr. Ong'Ech, my brother to Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech. So Moses, put us in the word of the Lord.
Heavenly Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, the name that is above every name, the Bible says every knee shall bow and every mouth shall confess that you are Jehovah. God, we want to thank you for the gift of life. We want to thank you for the family of Joseph Ochieng. We want to thank you for this occasion, God. Lord, your Bible says our work might be in vain if you are not invited. Today we want to surrender this occasion into your able hand. May the Holy Spirit guide us, God. We want to say no to every power of the enemies in the name of Jesus Christ. the key of life had taken from the hand of the devil, and it was dropped down to the bottomless pit until judgment day. God bless us, stand with us. We shall say, hallelujah, hallelujah, you've done it upon us. For we pray, trust in Jesus' name. Amen.
I will call our host, because this is his home, to welcome us.
I thank you, everybody that have made it to this day. Thank you, guests that have forgone the Christmas Eve just to join me on this occasion. I really love and inspired your commitment. Now allow me to go very straight to welcome you again, and I repeat again, and I thank God for allowing you to come. Allow me to, very quickly to go to the introduction part of it. I have three households. I will begin with Esther Emil Akelo. Stand with your people and possibly come and stand next to me. So in this house, I'll give them the microphone. You introduce your children.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ochieng. I'm the wife to Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech. And here are my kids. One of them is not yet here. Malari Ochieng, still on the way. My firstborn. This is Liki Michael Logola, going to grade 8 at Kasau Primary. This is Gracinda Anyango, grade 4 next year, Kasau Primary. Valerie Ochieng, Form 3 next year, Magingo High School. I welcome you all to this occasion. May God bless you. Thank you.
Allow me to call the second house, and I'm sorry the second house, the owner passed on, but the kids are here. Can the kids join me? Rhoda, you take the lead of that introduction, and you even register the apology of any one of you who is not here.
Rhoda Aworoche. I'm the firstborn in the second house. My immediate follower is not around due to some reasons. So here is our thirdborn. She's Peggy Auma Ochieng. The fourthborn is here, Eunice Awen Ochieng. And the fifthborn is a boy, also not around, on the way from Nairobi. So we were 5, 4 girls and 1 boy. I'm a teacher by profession. I work at Namanga, Kajiado County. Thank you.
I'm Peggy Ochieng. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm on my diploma level. Good afternoon, everyone. Ochieng Eunice, daughter to Mwalimu Joseph. Thank you.
I'm in the first house, but I'm sorry, she's going to introduce herself while seated. I'm seeing the doctor is moving with the Sumeji, so let her say her name. And those who are from her house, can you join her?
Good afternoon. I'm Grace Atieno Ochieng. I'm the first wife of Joseph Ochieng Ong'Ech. Most of my children are on the way, but I think the firstborn and the lastborn is around.
My name is Vincent Onyango Ochieng Ong'Ech. I'm the firstborn of this home. So on behalf of, we are 7 of us. 5 are not here. We are here 2 of us. So I will introduce them in absentia. So I'm the firstborn. My name is Vincent. I'm married with one wife and 2 children. My wife is also here. She should be somewhere here. So Jakara Chiwanya, please come. So as she comes, my follower is Christine Ochieng. Christine is a teacher, ECD, followed in the footsteps of the father. After that, we have Joshua. Joshua is an electrician. He's based in Kisumu. After Joshua, we have Celine Atieno, has done Bachelor in Commerce. He's an accountant. He's working in Nairobi. He's married with 2 children. After Celine, we have Irene. Irene is a teacher by profession. Went to Moi University. Is also married with 2 children. After Irene, we have Lavenda. Lavenda is a recent graduate. Is a doctor by profession. Followed in the footsteps of the uncle. And she has also not come today. So lastly, we have the soccer man, engineer, as a plumber by profession, and is a soccer in Gor Mahia Football Club. He's standing next to me. I think that makes the 7 of us. So I think today, for those who don't know my wife, come next to me so that you talk to this Yukamhori and the visitors and everyone.
My name is Vivian Onyango. I'm the wife to Vincent Onyango Chie. Welcome all.
So maybe I'll give this last tip to finally close. Let me give David.
My name is David Ochieng.
Yeah, I hope you heard him. You know, speaking on a microphone is not easy. So his name is David Owino. He's the last born in Nyagame's house. Thank you so much.
I think your mathematics can give you now the total number of children I have. Mr. Tayo, you are a mathematician. So what is the total? They are 15. Thank you very much. Now that one aside now, I go to the family. You know, as much as today I'm a guest of honor, there is also leadership part of it that I really propel in this family. So I come to the great Ong'Ech family because I'm the one taking the lead. So anybody who is attached to Ong'Ech family, please come forward so that you are introduced. I give mic to Daktari to assist me in capturing the rest of the great Ong'Ech family. Now, I'm the second born. The first born passed on, Dalmaso Ong'Ech. So I'm the second born now, coming into the shoes of the first born.
The great Ong'Ech family is here now, led by Mama Sipora Chieng, Nyapela, Nyaroganga Nyombere, Enka, Mama Mosie Jogi.
Moso una peuru. Ani ngalo pora Ochieng Ong'Ech. Ani ngamoko. Bueno be na eron tikne mami apide nyithinda gi malongo. Kangiso gi yo monego gilu. Koro awinjo ka giwacho dhok ma gi ok awinj. Mano kende. Erokamano.
Koro kwa Jeremiah ni Nyasaye osekawo kwan ni i ot Dalmaso Ong'Ech wan gi osomo modong' oluongo ni Kennedy Otieno. Koro in ni Dalmaso mantie. Koro bi mondo imos ji mondo iwak welo. Uwane matin.
Ningen Kennedy Otieno Ogola. I'm the firstborn in Ogola's family with 2 sisters who are abroad, USA. Rosemary Mwangale and Faith Award. I'm a farmer and I'm a businessman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we receive apologies from the Dalmaso Gola family. They are in US, they are citizens there. The mother, Karen, Mrs. Karen Ogola, sent apologies, but is supporting and sent a lot of support. Dr. Roslyn Gola Mwangali also sent apologies as said. There's also Faith Ogola, also in the US. Those are the siblings. They are citizens in America. They couldn't make it, but they have full support for this function. So that is the house of Dalmas, also was a teacher, Dalmas Apela Ogola Ong'Ech. Goro Wachieko, we are finished with that house. I will therefore now go by birth. I'll start with the boys first. But that is not fair. We finish with the boys. So I will do mine and then I hand over to the girls, okay? Now that we had done Dalmas, we've done Joseph, so I will do mine as we finish the boys' side. So my name is John Odero Ong'Ech, a medical doctor by profession. By birth order, I belong somewhere here. Like right now for the people living second last, but we have our other last born who passed on grace accord. So, the fifth, eh? By the birth order, I'm the fifth child. So, I'm also not alone, because this now with me, other people have come in. I will call my wife, she's here, Mrs. Betty Sotero, to come, and all my children, wherever you are, led by one other than Jeremy Odero Ong'Ech. No, Jeremy Ong'Ech Odero. Followed by Humphrey Dave Odero. Followed by Jerry Ong'Ech Odero. And followed by YZP Ochieng Odero. And you all come here and you say something after mom says something.
I'm also due to BIRO Enyasi Makawuono. Ani Longani Beatrice Odero and ane address Marjon Odero. Eruru kamana inya koro manche butaka and Jeremy.
My name is Jeremy Ong'Ech Odero, firstborn son to Dr. Dr. John Odero Ong'Ech. I'm here with my siblings and I'd like them to say something.
My name is Humphrey Dave Odero, thirdborn son to Dr. John Odero Ong'Ech, and I'm happy to be here. Let me give my siblings say something.
Hi, my name is Jerry Ong'Ech Odero. I'm happy to be here.
Hi, my name is DP Odero. I'm the last born.
Also in absentia, we have my sister who follows me. She's finishing studies in the Philippines. She's called Grace Obuya.
So that's my family. This Grace Odero, who has just finished a medical school doing internship. So this Dr. Grace Odero, the footsteps of the father. Here we have footsteps of the father, can be a teacher, or it can be the footsteps of the uncle, can be Dr. Lavender, or so like that. All right, so that is the side of the Great Ong'Ech family, the sons. Now I hand over to my sisters. Now some of these sisters of mine, they were born before me, so I allow them to conduct the session. They have seen the way I've done mine.
Nyinga en Mary Atieno Ong'Ech. Ane mwaluore gi Mwalimu Joseph Ochieng. Weche na mang'eny ubro yudo e buk kanyo. Kaka ne wadongo gi japuonj gi gik motimonwa. Kang yudo buk wang ni som. Weche na mandiko kanyo. An a business lady. An gi nyithindo ang'wen. Moko koyudo thuolo mar chopo ka, but an gariyo mantie ka. Christine, Emmanuel, Cam.
My name's Christina Nyango Keo. I'm the firstborn in the family of Mary Ong'Ech, who is here. She's my mother. Our second born is here. Third born is not around, Walter. Ochieng is in Nairobi. He didn't make it due to unavoidable circumstances. Then our last born is Emmanuel Ochieng. He's here, the one standing right after my follower. Sorry. I'm a nurse aide working in Bita, Katito Medical Center. It's a new hospital in Bita. I have children, my children with me. There is Eugene, okay, is my firstborn, followed by Agatha Amondi. The lady here, she's my second. Then my lastborn is Abraham Oduor. Thank you all for coming. May God bless everyone when you'll be going back.
My name is Joshua Ochieng, the second born to this family. I'm a businessman, and I have a family, but they couldn't make to come here. I came only with my last born. The last one in the red t-shirt, his name is Anna. So everyone is welcome to be here.
Hello everyone, I'm Emmanuel Ochieng, last born to Mary Ong'Ech. Thank you.
Now we go to my immediate follower. No, I'm the one, I'm the Alma Louis, you know. I say you, I'm loyal.
So my name is called Margaret Ong'Ech. I'm married in Uyoma. I have my children, 3 children. One could not be able to come. The 2 are here. Let them come here with their children and introduce themselves.
Okay, I'm called Millicent Anyango Mboya. I'm using that Mboya because I'm married. So I have 2 kids. So in our family, I'm the second born. I have 3 kids. So my firstborn is here. Can you say your name?
My name is Yan Goga. Boya.
Okay. And I have my last born here. My second born is not here. So Tamara, can you tell your name?
Tamara Kwela.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Jacqueline Akinyi. I'm the doctor of the mind. If you like it, call it psychologist by profession. I'm the last born in my mother's Margaret Ong'Ech family. And I also have here Dr. Ong'Ech Jr., who is my firstborn, a prospect doctor by the making. Thank you.
Hey, I've been named, so I'm very lucky. So I want to be captured by Dr. John Odero. So my niece has actually named me. So this is a doctor. I hope he will live to be a doctor like now this one now. I'm the grandfather now. So this thing is getting complicated in Akwara because I'm your uncle. So the grandfather, so you've been named after your grandfather. How many people have been named here? Can I see by show of hands? 1, 2, 3. Otaya Pana. Hugo. Okay, join the club. Thank you.
Mimi naitwa Benta Luot. Leo tuko na furaha ya hii party yenye tulikujia leo ya ndugu yangu. Wagani wenye anafurahi leo anifanyie tu mkono hivi. Leo tuko na furaha ya ndugu yangu, tulikuja kwa furaha. Sasa nimepiga asante sana, nimekaribisha watu wenye walikuja kwa hii starehe ya leo. Tunakaribisha tena, tuna furaha sana. Mimi kwa majina inaitwa Benta Luot Ong'Ech. Mimi ndio nafuata Dr. Ong'Ech. Kwa saa hizi mimi ni a business lady, tena kulima huko Migori. Nimeoleka Migori. Huko nalima ndizi, ukikuja kutembelea utabeba ndizi, kila kitu iko huko. Sasa mimi na mtu wa kulima. Sasa kwa saa hii niko na watoto yangu. Watakuja hapa, ataongea, kila mtu atasema chenye anafanya. Wenye iko na mwenye ameshamaliza shule alifanya ya walimu iko hapa. Niko na mwalimu mwenye ako kwa kosi ya polisi, niko nayo hapa. Sasa nataka akuje watoto yangu hapa karibu, aseme chenye anafanya. Watoto wangu akuje, kila mtu aseme jina yake na chenye unafanya useme.
My name is Lucas Onyango Awechi. I'm the firstborn son to Benta Luot Ong'Ech. I have some of my siblings here. some of them are not here because of factors beyond control. But for those who are here, they'll have an opportunity to introduce themselves. Otherwise, thank you and feel blessed.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the author of life for giving me this opportunity to stand and address myself. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, my name is Ochieng Ong'Ech. Currently, I share one thing in common with the author of life who has just written that book. He's also he has also passed through the National Youth Service. I too, I have been to the National Youth Service. I'm in the final phase at Mombasa Technical College pursuing my course of building technology. Yeah, thank you very much.
My name is Susan Akinyawiti. I'm the sixth born in our house. I'm going to Form 4 at Nyamonye Girls. Thank you.
My name is Roslyn Akin. I don't have much to say. Thank you.
My mother also has people where she was born. So these people also came because, Keo, Joko Will, dead. Ujeni hapa. Biu Joko Will, led by Councillor Bera. Mage kamonyole minwa, my mother onyol Kowil.
Kamano, oya urewuru. Makansilo Berumbere, Manir Dr. Ong'Ech, Dr. Dero Ong'Ech. Ani makora nombere mobiro ka. Malo rege nyara pela. Kachunka, ruoth kuro loso bangan ko makoro ng'amaduong' na. An ajako wil. Ani makora kumbere kanyo wadong' ji ariyo ma yawuoyi. Moro ni sabe an bo met koni luongo ni Joseph Otieno Umbere. An kod majaoda mara ang'wen. Okuneno kaka wabewa pek. Fulni.
Ginyinga giluonga Grace Akech Obera. Ng'anya imbo kae motedo imbo. Eruru kamano.
Ikowil wan kod department okonyo wang'e mnane japuonj abiro morikni to chiemo ni negi. An gi jagoro mara mar education. Wan gi land, wan gi agriculture, to kawuono abiro kod japuonj Joseph Okelo. Jak bunde oyudo wach moro masira dhere moro maduong' mithuolo kayo kucha koro oringo mondo odhi one. Wan kode ka manager komo mar education in Kowil community. Mwalimu.
I'm Okelo Joseph. I'm a teacher by profession. Currently, I'm a retired. So, Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech is a colleague. We have retired, and now we are pursuing a different route. So, I also thank the Ong'Ech family because they helped us. This year, we distributed money to children of Kowil because of them. If it were not for them, some of our children could have not gone to school. May God bless you. Thank you.
Koro abido kako duruoda en acting asan chief mar Nyamonye wod Kowil marandega Steve Alwora mo wad go Ong'Ech dola. Ani luonga ni Stephen Omondi Alwora. Ae gweng' moro ni Pap Guoki Kowil kucha. Pap Guok kanyo manene imbo gi Sakwa ong'ade guok. Sani kan acting assistant chief mar Nyamonye. An gima dawach kar ka ochiegni oyomba to yoma matin. Wago kode mpira e nyim ka Joana kanyo. Ka gimako osiepgi lukore Yona. Ochieng' gimotimo kar ka ni omiyo an ojo ni launching ni book biro launch an kawuono e kimiya thuolo mar biro neno kaka launch ga book.
Iluonga ni Dan Obera. Koro an go wetena ka ginya pulre ng'ato ng'e nyinge. Kae mapan mi nobro tieko.
An iluonga ni Chris Obera. Iluonga ni Julius Pascal Juma Obera.
Nyinga iluongo na Anastasia Angeline Awuor Obero Mbere. Anyale ganya seje unyolota tedo Nyamonye Kowil. God bless.
Koro kapok wadhi community our session ni host mondo conclude, then what is the next session?
Allow me at this point in time just to give a brief highlights why this occasion, I felt this occasion should be the way you see it. Two things inspired me, and they are here. when my dad was still alive, then something came into our mind, led by Daktari, that Mzee had a lot of history, a lot of issues that touches the community cutting across, and the moment he will not be there, we shall miss him. Neither any of us shall ever wear the same shoes that he had. So a book was written, Jadung Jeremy Ong'Ech Ogola. A lot of things that he used to tell us when we were young were captured in this book. Then as we journeyed, or we moved on, then the young boy, my sixth follower, Bwana Chungwalo, my sixth follower, okay, thank you. Yeah, so he also came up that he has done a lot of things in this country as in his line of profession, and they want to leave a record that will ever remain and will ever be referred to when he's on. I think this one came as a result of something that I want to mention. 2009, December, we were almost going to be passed tense. Two of us. We were caught in a tragedy that is, you are going to get into the book. That finally by Whisker, his life was saved. Me, I don't know what Whisker had because I just found myself jumped over something and landed to the police. Finally, I found myself home. So this one made this gentleman to have a write-up about his life, family, and everything else. Now, Mzee had gone, Doctor was alive, but he started convincing me, Mwalimu. While I was growing, I was seeing you very committed. I was seeing you very committed, including the time when you were going to college. I was 9 years old. I was given a calling letter for Meru TTC to bring to you where you are. That journey is long. He also mentioned, when I was working, I saw you struggling with some organization. You came to Nairobi to register Cooperative Society for Teachers. I had just started work, but I saw myself guiding you because, you know, Nairobi was very complicated for people coming from the south. He navigated with me to make the circle of choice, which we are now referring to as Jumesha, which is effectively represented by the board. The board is here, led by none other than Chair Lady, Madam Evelyn. All those ones, plus many others in the teaching profession, made Daktari to push me and had to come up and capture or documenting and documented. I think that's the right terminology. Documenting some issues that you know as a person that are not documented. And the author of documenting and documented is here. Is going to take you through how he came up with that analogy. So there it is, and here it is. So I came up with this book. A lot about this book is going to be presented by the author, but I want to remind you, my family members, the Great Ong'Ech. You see, I've really journeyed with you in terms of caring, being responsible, but you don't know, you have not known that at one point in time, at 4 years, I was also like Jerry. I was also, how old is Jerry, by the way? Your son. Yeah, Jerry was even older than me. So that stage is captured here when I was 4 years old, when I was 17 years old, when I was 23 years old, when I was 30 years old, when I was 60 years old. Having retired, I felt that an overview of human stage development should be captured. There is that prime period of between 6, as we mentioned, or 4, to 18. Then there is that 18th stage to a certain level, then there's another level, then there's another level. All those ones have captured my life in Sako. My friend from Sako, I have a lot of details. I've even captured some of the letters you used to write for me, some of the awards I used to get, some of the commendations that I used to the recognition you gave me all along, because I knew I was serving the teaching fraternity. So all those ones inspired me to come up with a book. I know, and having served in teaching profession for 37 years straight, and broken record, 37, 20 as a head teacher, years, 16 as a, 14 as a teacher. You know, I served long as a teacher because I wanted to know what teaching profession is and how leadership in teaching can really shape somebody to be somewhere. So I didn't hurry to jump into leadership. Then I went to those leadership. Then I concluded my service as a head teacher. I know most of our head teachers, including my friends who are very close to me. I told them to write a piece about me. Most of them refused. Some of them said, Buana, you have retired. What do you need to have a book for? Why do you want a book? But because I was fulfilling the dream of the two, the Musée and the young doctor, whom I realized had the sense of documenting and documented. So I wanted to document myself. So today you will get a lot. You will be surprised. Some of my colleagues from Sako thought that I was really a learned friend, but I was a researcher in terms of records and documenting. And they would tell them, you clap for me. So, in brief, I don't want to take long. I conclude now. There is a friend of mine who would have been here. He's a professor who forwarded this book. We really struggled with him, but I know the author is going to present his view. Also, equally, when you get the book, so also when you get the book, you will see the journey we had with him. But Professor, I like, because he mentioned a lot in terms of our performance. He mentioned a lot how I was a young black, whatever he was mentioning. So try to mention something about him. I know they are going to have the details when they receive the book. So in my conclusion, because the presenters are here, I want to just appeal to my friends. Colleague friends who are here, I see Mr. Kechojoa is here. I see Willis Guda, who has just reported very late, my friend, for this occasion. Guda Willis, whom I really owed a lot in his life, who would have been master of ceremony in this occasion. Mr. Cage, can you wave? Okechojoa is there. Okechojoa. You will see Okechojoa with me on a picture when we were struggling to get into headship. We were to go for prison so that we are prepared as managers. Okay, thank you for gracing this occasion. When I was telling you this, you seem to have responded in piecemeal. You were doubting the day, but the day is today. Thank you very much. Conclusion. Ochieng Ong'Ech, stand, come, and I introduce you. You are my cousin. Call your wife and the rest. You can take the stage and introduce them so that I hand over the program.
I am David Otieno from Nyangera. I'm here with my wife. I also came with my friends from Nyangera. I think they can come and say a word.
My name's Emily Ochieno. I'm the wife to David Ochieno. Be blessed.
So my name is Job Were Oyaro. I come from Nyangera village. I'm a teacher by profession. Currently I'm teaching at a lower girls game Wagai sub-county. Thank you.
My name is Eric Ochieng, former councillor Nairobi, former footballer also for Harambee Stars and KCB. I'm privileged to be here. Thank you so much.
Allow me just to recognize a few people, because I will never come here again. I know the theme is going to be moved very effectively. Jackson Bunde, come close to me. James Ogada, come close to me. And Okecho Joa. Curate of Nyamonye Parish, Ogada, is his brother. When we used to talk about school, he mentioned to me, I'm from Omape. My high school is Omape. Then I say, fine. I'm also from somewhere here, which we are going to get into. Thank you. But he respects me because I effectively worked with him in SACCO. I know that at time of reading reports, I get thirsty. So he's the one who used to sneak in water when I was in the podium. Thank you, Mr. Ogada, for coming. This gentleman knows how we started. My Nera, Masana, really suffered in 1974. How did we suffer? We suffer. We were to do CPE, and teachers and the staff had a fight, and they quarreled and sabotaged the head teacher for almost a year without us seeing a teacher in the class. So we struggled, but he managed to get some few points higher than me. Then me, I made a reverse that I must repeat. So he joined Usengai School. But we never lost touch. Thank you very much, Mr. Pun. Upon his retirement, I really tutored him, and he took over from me to factor in fast-tracking retirement benefit for others. Thank you for fitting well in my shoes. I believe we slept well in Nairobi, Daktari's house, Ngumo, when we were really preparing how to reach the treasury. Thank you very much. Oh, okay, yeah, this is how it is. I know coming up with a book is a problem on you, and you are also one person whom we should write a book about. Because I remember you went to Nyomonyagem at one time, or you also, the rain over you when we went for funerals, and we were riding from Akala, rushing to escape the rain. That time we were passing through their area. Riding so that we reach funeral. Nyagem knows. Thank you for honoring. Where is your spouse, by the way? Yeah.
She told you she was not coming.
Okay, fine. Karibu sana. I recognize you. I'm now carried high. Thank you very much. May God bless everybody. May God bless all of you. I think Daktari take over, and then we move to the next stage.
And now the stage is set. It's always good to write. Very good to write. I'm going to challenge my age mate, Professor Adams here, to write something. We are here this occasion as people like Professor Adams Solo. How many people have heard Professor Adams Solo? So it's good to write. What is not documented is not done. Unfortunately, our elder brother died before writing, but a lot of is captured in this book that my brother has dedicated to also him. So at this point, I want to recognize the community. Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech is born in a community, and the community who are here will wave, stand there and wave, but I've called two people to come here and speak on behalf of the community. I will call, as the community is standing to wave, first of all, nitie won Morocco unisem modunga. Sem in kanya biye mondo video no magia.
Dunga sem modunga. An jakamori. Area makoro
winjo kiwacho ni community e gweng' ni an ema koro adong'i modongo nowate koro wach moro nitie matek ahinya to koro nyaka penja abro luwo mana kaka nene jodongo kendo weya ago erokamano ni nyasi ma nyithindo gitimo gimoro maber gima gitimo ni kati bende kop gima gitimo ni kidhi gweng'i ni mondo chieng' moro iwaye ni kwaru moro ni mondo gibed ga kanyakla ka ging'ere ni kopo chopo sa ma wan gi weche ariyo gi ni magi wan gi somo to wan gi kanisa gigo miyo ji sani ok ng'ere ng'ato kiny gokinyi ok odhi kanisa ng'ato be kosedhi Nairobi ok oduogo en kwar mare moro okia en kipenje oduogo gi Kiswahili koro miyo ago erokamano romera gima utimo gani utimo maber nyithindo ng'ere moging'eno ma jakwara ma janira to weuru bet ni en ni ung'ere ga mana idala ni wan joka ng'ane oyo oganda ma Kamore no oganda malach wan jaka manyaka kidhi Usenge yudo giye kidok mago koche yudo giye kidhi Pale yudo giye Lwala to koro e kama koro gigurre rai magwe kamo to kaka ineno gini ne gitin to gin tuoni Jakamore no kiem ga wang ne kop kae ni ne wan gi tuondi ne wan gi dima o Jang'wech sianda ne poto adiel tuono kol ne ni gweng'ni odi mameyawa koro ok ne gin matin cholo nyang' ne ni gweng'ni koro ago erokamano ni nyithinda kendo kanya yudo report ni nyasi nitie denda tonit wacho ni nyaka bi magi bende ginena timo erokamano ni gima utimo.
The community of Kamhur, anybody community view ka please Buddha japuonjo akodi mabor adwa ni wach matin tae Oginga bro tieko Moses Oginga.
My name is Joseph Mango. I am the brother of Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech and I'm the neighbor nearby.
Ginyinga iluonga ni Dan Dima and bende and family ma Kamhore ka erokamano.
Daniel Ochieng Oginga, a brother to Joseph Ochieng Ong'Ech. Thank you. Joshua Odienyo Kumu, Wadgo Ochieng Ong'Ech.
Thank you very much. Mine is Ben Guda. Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech is my son. Mokwongo kadongo wan gi Willis od japuonj ema waninde. Wanindo kanyo kwadhi ragak gokinyi pile pile. Katieko my fourth form, japuonj nokawa mapuonjo kode ragak. Apuonjo kode gimoro around 6 or 7 months. Katieko puonjo to iye kanye manokawa bajoin National Youth Service kapuonjo kode ragak. Japuonj en ng'ama ng'eyo maber. Igwen ka en ng'ama jagri kacha kata dala ne king'iyo tineno ka nyisa ni en ng'ama is a hardworking person. In fact, we really borrow much from him, from our society and clan. Ka ne watieko NYS, napo kondika makro kendo chako kela kon. Japuonj chunye ma iye ne gombo mondo abed japuonj. Lakini hata ok nopang. Notimo gimoro kama fani. Willis owadwa ne Malindi. Willis ne tiyo Malindi kucha. Oro either an kata Willis ng'ata chiel nodwaro mondo puonj. Kane Willis ni kucha to apply mondo okawa puonj. Bati maber kata marach mar Willis ema notimre nade ema nobiro. Noketa mane mana sign on behalf of Willis. Makta signature kapo ni giminyalo to an ema nasign kokalo kuom japuonj Ochieng Ong'Ech. Eka Willis brother na obet japuonj. Aranyisi na bende chieng' moro nyaka graduate, nyaka bedi graduate. Chieng' mana graduate kano biro dala, no confirm ni ben kara. Gini kata currently I'm working on my masters, natimo business administration, ma specialized in finance. Ajuoga kaki loso pesa kaki manage ita ngeni chuo mrajisi da. Kaki loso pesa kaki manage egi matimra nadi. Egi malonye. Kok mano, agoero kamano, and I wish you all the best. At least ikelo nwa gini dala kata mana wan wawegi. Angeno bende wabro ndike in the near future. Thank you.
Jego somo masters in finance, koro ni kaka manage pesa. Ibuoga. Very good. Koro, what did this do?
I'm Mwanda Willis Guda, son to Guda Mwanda. Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech is a mentor and a friend. And I would like to say that Mwalimu loved me deep inwardly from a very tender age, if I can report. He was a friend of mine. What I can say is that he made me to become a teacher. In fact, in my life, I never wished to be a teacher. And it is a profession that I love to hate. I don't know why, but he insisted that I had to become a teacher. And just as you've been told by Ben, they did everything while I was away. And they signed, and the letter came, and I was called to join Igoji Teachers College. I can also remember that Mwalimu took me from this very place to Meru, Igoji TTC. There's an occasion that I cannot forget. While we were with Mwalimu at Nairobi, we got lost, and he could not trace the direction. Remember, he was the one taking me to college, and now at Nairobi we got lost and he could not know the direction. So the only funny thing is that to be out of this, we only convinced a Mkokoteni man that, please, can you carry us this back to tea room? Because we could not trace where the tea room was. So please, from where we are to tea room is how much? And he said 30 bob. Then okay, Beba. So we were following the guy up to the tea room, and that's why we traced the direction to tea room. And finally, we went to Ikochi. Mwalimu also introduced me to teacher politics, and I was the right-hand man of Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech. In fact, I really campaigned for him, and he introduced me to teacher politics, and currently, I thank God, I'm the Bondo Sub-County BBF chairperson, a post that I'm holding up to 2027, God willing. I can say a lot about Mwalimu, but most of it is written. I wrote, if you look at the life journey of a successful career teacher, I have somewhere where I've written something, I have a text there, you can read. Otherwise, I don't have much. A lot has been said while I was away. I don't want to water down everything. Thank you, and may God bless you. And I also want to sincerely thank the organizers of this occasion. It is rare, and I can say that it is just one of its own in this village and this community. Let us embrace this to the young ones. Otherwise, thank you, and may God bless you.
So Moses, you can finish that section briefly.
Mwalimu, when you requested me to say something, actually to write something, I said something that today has been confirmed. I said within the community of Kamhore here, we have almost 8 homes. But in every home there is a teacher. And this has been successful because of Mwalimu. It has been confirmed that most of teachers that we have here, at least Mwalimu's hand was on in one or the other. So through Mwalimu, we have a very successful community through inspiration, and there's something that I've confirmed that I want to tell all members who are here. If somebody's child's life bothers you, eventually, maybe after you've died or before you die, God will reward that to your family. Through the Mwalimu's hard working, inspiring other sons and daughters to go to school, through his commitment to get into other people's homes to aspire them to go to school, we have seen Mwalimu today standing as a very successful person within community. And actually, if you follow the lines of the children of Mwalimu, something is happening that is heard from God. We want to thank you, Mwalimu, so much. We want to thank you once again, and may the Almighty God bring another Mwalimu within us. I'm talking to Willis now. He is the next teacher. Mwalimu inspired you. Mwalimu has retired. Mwalimu has written a book. It is now upon you to take the mantle. Inspire others, young children that are coming. Tell them the importance of being a teacher or having some careers. You said you didn't want to be a teacher. You hated it, but now you love it. There's somebody that guided you to there. Can you also guide others so that tomorrow we also come celebrating that through Mwalimu, Willis Guda that was inspired is also taking up. May the Almighty God bless the family of Mwalimu. Vincent Onyango, may the God bless you so much. You've taken the heart of Mwalimu. And I want to challenge the family of Mwalimu as I now conclude. Please, either in the presence of Mwalimu in the absentia, let the mantle of Mwalimu shine. Just sometime, a child in a day school is only 12,000 shillings. You can just have even one child every year. Just contribute 12,000 shillings every year in the remembrance of Mwalimu, so that every child, every vulnerable child within our community goes to school in the name of Mwalimu. May the God Almighty thank you.
We cannot finish this occasion with the very first teacher in this community who, after having finished school in Sagogo High School in the 70s, joining Sagogo High School in the 70s was not a joke. A classmate with Akinaeno Soyaya is here. Mr. Nyango was one of the people who was so teaching. The first teacher was Dalmaso Gola. Mornega Maduong, Niketi. Etari Peroka Mwen. Kangwin you will yes to go to you. So Yasini or Noli would do a bit. Mawoda, we Mukeo, Pilonano can in Woda. Kalu Owadi Molo, Mane Basna, Mane Pachokongo Gupunji, Eguenka. And Ilungano Yango Spim, or Kadwa Wachamangan, Niketungea. That's okay. You know, many people always think Jared Okola thinks Dr. Ong'Ech is the one who has changed the community. Today I want him to see another angle, that there are other people who have done a lot in the community here. So maybe this story of Ochieng Ong'Ech you didn't know. I'm sure now you have read the book, being someone who got distinction 1 in literature in English in 1975. And 1975 distinction 1 in literature and English. You know you are getting, yours was 844. Distinction 1, only Adams can understand. So he has a PhD in political science. So if somebody got distinction 1 in 1975 in Usenga Secondary School, that is somebody. But he didn't know this part of story of Ochieng. Get ready, you'll be speaking at some point. Now, before I invite the guests, it is my time to say something. Yeah, just speaking from what I was saying, many people here, Dr. Ong'Ech, you know, the name is out there. Where did I come from? Yeah, did I just come from nowhere to be that Dr. Ong'Ech that people talk about in Nairobi? I came from here. So my brother here was 7 or 8 years ahead of me. So I grew up looking up to my brother. He was a great mentor, a disciplinarian. I never saw my brother drink alcohol when he was 20, when he was 30, when he was 40, when he was 50. And I always say this all the time. Because otherwise, even me, I would have started drinking alcohol. So his straight life shaped me to who I am. You know, when you're growing as a teenager, you look up to the next person. That next person was my brother. So I grew up knowing hard work, discipline would make you be where you are. The rest is history. I don't want to blow my own trumpet. It's all known. It's in the book. It's in the public domain. Mwalimu started life with humility, doing all sorts of manual things that can be done. We didn't come from a very rich background. You could even sometimes go fishing. My father didn't like that. He's now tender, because he would spoil people. But he moved on. We had school fees challenges. At some point, he had to cut short his formal education, but he kept reading. And read. You know, most people don't know this. He read and sat Form 4, passed all the subjects. He kept reading, did his diploma, he retired as an approved graduate teacher. That is quite a journey. What a journey. You know? So he did what he could do. That's determination, what people nowadays can't do. That's a story which must be told. How can we live such a story? You know, he paid my school fees. Okay? From 1, from 2, from 3, from 4, from 6. And I'm not the only one. You've heard how he has supported the community. Very big, mentored people. That is somebody whose story must be told. Okay? And if he mentored me, personality that I have, made sure I went to school, we have to tell his story. And these are some of the reasons why I said his story must be told. Community you've had, and those are just a few voices of what he has done. The circle of people I'm going to give you next, you say it in your own words. I like things said in your own words. So, Mwalimu, in a nutshell, has walked an interesting journey in life, and I always call it life of purpose. Every step, he explains what he's doing. When I disagree with him, I asked him, tell me why. Like I had a little problem with this polygamy, but he has explained it. Okay? It has a major purpose, life of purpose. I had a little problem with that one, but he said it is here. So, life of purpose, and he convinced me it was a life of purpose. So, always live a life of purpose. He has impacted not only in the Ong'Ech family, not in the community, in the teaching profession, in the mentorship, in the circle. You've heard it. Circle people are here to say it. I think he's taught people who have passed exams. I think he's done a good job. I think, not I think, but it's a life journey of a successful career teacher and champion education. I think he deserves this book, and this is why I said, no, this story must be sold. As he said, we were inspired by writing books by our father. My father used to talk so many things. Some of his students were Professor Adams. Adams would actually ride all the way. Professor Adams is a very known scholar of the University of Nairobi. Well-read, well-published. He would come, not even telling me he came. Adams, professor would come all the way to Mzee Duol, and he tells me he was there. That time, I don't know what Adam was writing, because I knew this is PhD in America. I don't know what he was trying to get from Mzee's brain. And it's not only Professor Adam, Professor Pielo Lumumba would come all the way and pick a brain of my father. And my father didn't go to high school, didn't go to whatever. So many people just say, I anger so many people. So I said there must be something. And when you sit with him, there were so many things that he would say. So we therefore started the first series of books, as my brother explained, documenting the undocumented. And so the series continued. I did mine. He has done his. For the naysayers, they're always there. My brother, I urge you, forget about them. Move on with your life. You've done a big job. The book is available in Amazon, where President Obama's book is being sold. That's a great achievement. Okay? So, we congratulate you today. I sincerely congratulate you from the bottom of my heart today for the time you took. Writing a book is not very easy. I congratulate you, my brother, and I want it to be on record on this video on this day that I congratulate you from the bottom of my heart that you've done many things that not even your colleagues, not even the people who are there after you or before you or whatever have done. Good job. Congratulations. Yeah. Leaving legacy for the great grandchildren. That's all I have to say. So I could talk a lot about my brother, a lot the whole day, but we don't have much. So that is the theme of the day that I was supposed to set. So we want to move to our guests. Just a few guests to speak. So when you come, say what you have to say, and then we move on. This thing is live. In YouTube, we'll post it somewhere. We'll give you the link. And whatever you say, you'll still listen to it. So at this point, the SACCO people, you've heard SACCO being mentioned a lot. The teacher SACCO, I'm a product of teacher SACCO. All my school fees were being paid through loan through teacher SACCO. I respect teacher SACCO very much. So that's why when they were registering the SACCO, I was very passionate. The first person I remember the SACCO was a teacher called Odol. Odol used to work with some forms. You know, people would fill school fees. My brother did that. Dalmas Ogola failed, and at least I got my fees for Form 5. And so, Mwalimu Ochieng came in big in SACCO. Bigger than life in SACCO. So, I want to call the SACCO team here, led by, I know the chair lady is here, but the person I thought who said is their Ambassador Onyango Tayo. Onyango Tayo, you told me you are the front runner. I don't know what you hold in the SACCO. But when I finished Form 6, this young man, now is no longer young, I taught him literally biology in Barakanyango Secondary School. And?
Mathematics.
And he used to call me what?
Mantisa.
Tell them. So I was a great mathematician of my time. So I want you to coordinate this section of the SACCO. Is your time?
I represent the SACCO in Usigu. I'm the representative of SACCO in the board of directors, Jomwesha, which was formerly Mondo Teachers SACCO. I took from Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech when he retired officially. So I'm now in his shoes, and I think I'm fitting very well by my teacher. I want to bring in the first person that worked with Ochieng from inception of Bondo Teachers SACCO, and is still a board member. He rose to the post of vice chair. He's now not the vice chair, but a member of the board. Mr. Ogada James. Mr. Ogada would tell us a lot about Mr. Ong'Ech.
I want to join my other guests in congratulating Mr. Ong'Ech, Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech, for this launching of his book. I am a witness of his achievements. I knew Ong'Ech when he was in shares, the former chair teacher SACCO, now Taraji. He was an official and a board member there, very active. We used to appreciate his energy. He could cut across the county doing all the activities of the SACCO. Then we came to Bondo. Mr. Ochieng was and is a founder member of Jumuisha. Ochieng was instrumental in single-handedly registering the SACCO in Nairobi. I remember when he had achieved registration, that time there were no mobile phones. We could use the booths. So he told us to wait at a booth in Bondo so that he could pass for us the information, the good news that society is registered. We are very happy. Ochieng came up with all the documents. I also remember Ochieng, and we used to call him the society dictionary. He could collect the materials, he could collect books. I also remember Ochieng as having mentored so many people, particularly our union, the Sacco Union, the Cusco. He mentored so many people, leaders. Worth mentioning, the director of Cusco at one time was somebody propelled to leadership. So Mr. Chieng was not selfish. He mentored people into leadership. He helped us form this current society, Jumuisha. I remember Chieng as a vivid secretary, Home Secretary of our SACCO. Ochieng could have all the minutes ready, and we had no problem when it comes to our meetings. One thing I also remember about him is a natural teacher. That roaring voice of Mr. Ong'Ech. That's a natural teacher. He's an eloquent orator. I also see his brother Daktari also has the same, and I could see the same in the sisters. Maybe this is a family trait. Congratulations for having that kind of trait. I would go on and on and on. Otherwise, I want to say thank you for the organizer of this occasion, for having organized this beautiful occasion. One time, Mr. Otayo, we came here in the evening. This home was alight, all these houses. In as much as even me, Daktari, I had some observations about the crowd. Yeah, what you call polygamy. But when I came here and I saw the bright, that kind of, I really appreciate it. I wish I could follow his footsteps, but now it's too late for me. Thank you very much. You could see when they're getting to this year, I admired. So in as much as we had distribution, Daktari, the end justifies the means. Thank you very much.
Before I talk, I want to introduce the CEO, Jumuisha. Jumuisha CEO is around. Just wave where you are. Thank you. We also have a staff. The staff, Bwana Geoffrey. Thank you for accompanying us. I want to talk before the chair crowns it over. I'm Otayo Joseph. Otayo is a traditional name around. It was here. Our traditional home was here. The Ochiao's home was around. And I can remember my father telling me that there is a very good tie between Otayo and Ochieng Ong'Ech. I want also to say that I knew Bwana Ong'Ech Joseph when I was a child at Magu Primary School. He came there from college, and I think we are the first cohort of 844 that Mr. Ochieng took over. He took us through, and I want to say that he was a natural teacher, a teacher that would be trained on a new subject within months, and he can successfully teach and pupils pass. We passed music. Mr. Ochieng was just picked when we were moving to class 8, trained for one week, and there he was. We passed music, and I can testify that was the best music student at college because of Mr. Ong'Ech. After that, after moving from Magu, he handed me to his brother, the Mantisa. He would talk spontaneously without even a comma about biology. Can remember him taking us through the body systems and logarithms, where his Mantisa name came from. Thank you, Daktari, for that. Thank you. I can remember I was the best in mathematics at Barkanyango that time. In mathematics courtesy of Dr. Ong'Ech. I want to say that they have been encouraging education, both of them, and he would even follow his student afterwards. He would follow, where are you now? Where is your masters? Where have you reached with your masters? I want you to be professor. Albi, thank you because of that encouragement. The two of them have been very, very passionate about education, and I think it is now. This is the climax, Ms. Ochieng. I hope, Prof, there will be a edition again of this, and I think I'll put my pen there. It was unfortunate that I didn't put my pen here because of time. I'll say a lot, including the UIO of Menigi. Abro wacho mani bugni. Machielo, the revised edition, please let me know so that I put what I know. But I want to say that Ochieng is a professor. Ochieng Ong'Ech is a professor, although he didn't put the gown on. He's a professor. You have heard about the circle. He was our dictionary. He would tell us all the laws of the society when he was not a cooperative officer. He would tell us everything, and we depended on him on that. I want to say that he's a person that would bring you to the family. I know the family members. Wakino Nyango know me very well, and I think even others. I want to tell the family of Ochieng Ong'Ech. Ochieng has brought very many friends to this family. Can we keep them? Can we keep them? Because as at now, he will not make many other friends. So let us keep the family. Let's keep the friends that he has brought in so that we don't lose them. Otherwise, I want to thank you and congratulate you, Bwana Ong'Ech, on this occasion and wish you the best as we do this. I also want to thank the professor of documenting and documented. And by so doing, you are reaching the unreached people group. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. On this juncture, let me take this opportunity as the vice chair of Jumuisha to welcome the chair to make her remarks. Thank you, Madam. Welcome.
I want to take this opportunity to thank the Lord for having given us the gift of life. We really also want to thank God for actually giving us this day and giving us journey mercies to be here today. A lot has been said to the guest of honor, who is Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech. I came to know Mr. Ong'Ech as I was teaching at Nyamonye. I really took so many years at Nyamonye, and I want to believe that I also have my students around whom I did teach. I'm not new in this village, and there are a number of faces that I actually know. When I look at Onyango's poem there, those are the people with whom we were in the giant Nyamonye zone. I have a number of people who, even though they are not teachers, but they are acquaintances. I came to know of Ochieng Ong'Ech. I think he was a supervisory member in SEA Teacher Circle that is currently Taraji. What was good about you was that we had services at the door. And we really knew that if at all you applied for a loan, then there was no need going to SIA. The money will be brought to you at the doorstep. And therefore, when they now broke from Siaya and moved to Bondo, then I decided to move to Bondo because of Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech, because I still needed his services just at the doorstep. In the year 2000, I got transfer from Nyamonye and now went to Rarieda Division, where I have been up to date. I became a vigilant member of Bondo Teacher Circle, and I want to recall in the year 2005, Mr. Ochieng pushed me when a member from Rarieda was retiring to join the Bondo Teacher Circle. I vied against two men and I did emerge the winner, and that is how I became a board member at Bondo Teacher Circle. I want to say this was courtesy of Ochieng Ong'Ech. He has been my mentor in the circle politics. He has been my mentor in teacher leadership, because at the same time I did become a head teacher in the year 2004. And he really mentored me on how to go about this leadership. When a time came for me to join the executive, again, we were with him together. And I want to say he was the drive for me being in the circle leadership. Mr. Ong'Ech and Ogada, I want us to remember the time I wanted to become the CIC delegate. These people were behind me becoming a CIC delegate, and I want to say it was not easy. But Mr. Ong'Ech maneuvered together with Mr. Ogada, and they did make sure that I became the CIC delegate. And I was the first CIC delegate in Siaya, the giant Siaya district. I want to appreciate you for that gesture, you together with Mr. Ogada, the way we fought. They have really taught me how to fight among men. Because we really know that the position that I even currently hold is always a preserve for the men. But they have taught me how to navigate. I want to say, Mr. Ong'Ech, you have been a shoulder to lean on. Ong'Ech ni en ora gi konchiel. Nyagem ni kamo ae kama tedi. Koro aluonge ni ng'ama or. To samo chope seche moko ma koro wadwa timo gik jopuonj tanyalo kata bedo yuore nikech madam bende en yuor jopuonj. O kamano. Koro nitie kaka watudre kode motegno. We've been told that Ong'Ech has been the dictionary of the circle. During our college, we used to have this book in CRE where they say no one taught like this man. I want to say that Ong'Ech has been a dictionary of the circle like not any other man. I used to wonder why he used to pick information. Hey, bring that piece of magazine here. There's something I'm getting from it. And he used to have a library. Anything we wanted, we could get from Mr. Ong'Ech. And we really envy that. Mr. Ong'Ech, I've decided to copy from you, and I'm also having a library because there is a lot that I have learned from you. Mr. Ong'Ech has been the strength behind the Bondo Teacher Circle, which is now Jumuisha. He's only out that he did retire before we did change our constitution, our bylaws, and we hadn't opened the common bond. After opening common bond, even those who have retired still remain to be board members. And we are urging him to come back. We didn't throw him out. It is the bylaws that did throw him out. We still need his input, and we are really proud of him. When you retired, I thought you would go down. But instead, you are rejuvenated and you are more than younger. It is because he has not decided to sit back at home, but he is still a go-getter. He is venturing into other positions. He is also venturing in other fields. And therefore, we do say we are very proud of you. Before I end, I would want to recognize the Jumuisha Sacco members who are here. Kindly please get up and wave. You have been a strength. Okecho jo. Usikae umeka. Odol nika moroka. Aneno japuonjo odol. And so many others. Achando. Koro. I want to say that you have been a strength behind us. And we want you to remain with us because we say that society is an us. And you know at times how things become difficult, but still the society is ready to bail you out. We really thank you for the book that we are launching today, Mr. Ong'Ech. This is a challenge to us. And I've come to realize that apart from being a force in the society or in the circle, Ong'Ech has done a lot in the community. I can remember when he got his gratuity and he told me, Jacob, come and see what I'm doing. When I came here, I got so many people here and I asked him, are all these contractors? And gimano wacho nani sami yudo pesa ni moro matin to jogweng be nyaka bile kata mana busa. That one I also did learn from him. People were here and I really appreciated when I came to see what Mr. Ong'Ech was doing. We as the circle, we still pray for you. We want to believe that even after launching this book, there is more that you are bound to do when you are still alive. For the siblings or the children of Mr. Ong'Ech, kindly follow in his footsteps. He is a man of the people. Kindly be men of the people. May God bless you as you do the launching. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam. I'm grateful. I want to say that those whom have come after I had welcomed people, you are welcome. Karibu Achando. The Sacco people have really stood with me. Recently, when I lost my brother, they were very busy, but they came later, a week later, and we ate together. When I lost my dad, they also came. When they have really been coming. I'm really considering to come there, but you see, these teachers are very cunning. When they see a retiree going back, they may think that I'm going back to eat their money. So that's a problem. So allow me to be hesitant kidogo, so that I get myself settled. Otherwise, I'm not really denying not to come. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Now, two things are coming out. I started paying. People have really been saying that, you see, those whom Mr. Ong'Ech is taking to school, it is Daktari who is paying. I started paying school from him. So, nilikuwa nimezoea. Sasa I was going with the mantle. I have 4 graduates here. I have 4 graduates. Recently, there is a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery student who is now a doctor. That is in the courtesy of Sacco. I have Irene. Irene, where are you? A secondary school teacher, graduated 2020. Yeah, thank you. Teacher Karibu. There's a graduate, is waiting for employment. I have, I said there are 4. I have Vincent Onyango. Vincent Onyango is a BAc IT expert under the courtesy of SACCO. Anna hologa loan. To an extent, sama corona weyo, joguno wacho ni shares ni duto olal manasekano because I took a lot of loan. So I have, apart from Irene, I have Celine. Celine is an accountant by profession, graduated from Egerton University, and is currently also CPA compliant. Very soon, he is going to be an ISPAC, isn't it? When you are looking for an ISPAC. Hey. So I wanted just to mention those, that those came as a result of being in SACCO. Otherwise, thank you very much, SACCO people. May you, I've just given you one, but I encourage everybody to come and buy. He has said that he's going to give you a link. But if that link cannot come out very clearly, just send to me M-Pesa. I'm not, just send to me M-Pesa 07 blah blah, so that you get the book. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very good speech. Yeah, Mwalimu, you know, is retired but not tired. Mwalimu is currently the chairman of Sia County Education Bursary Fund. The chairman, the whole county. Mwalimu is in the board of management Usenga High School, BOM. Mwalimu is in the board Majengo Secondary School. Mwalimu is, no, let me stop there. So there are a few guests I want to speak. I have guests who work with Safaricom who came all the way from Nairobi. Some ladies here, they came all the way from Nairobi. We work with them in Safaricom. So we have Linda and we have Christine, okay?
I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you and to thank Daktari. Daktari enosiepwa unukiake ununyalo nene na kamae to want one ene mupogore. He's somebody we really cherish. So Kano Kono Wani, the brother is launching a book as a retired daughter of a teacher. Kata Anbe Babawa and retired teacher. Korone waneno ni nyaka wabika erimondo wabedi kode kanyakla. Anilungani Linda ila anyanya kachika bodo kamoro ni papunditi. Todoken chunyo se wuotho kodwa e tijege. Korone wawacho ni mondo wabedi kode kanyakla. Erokamano Daktari. Ingama luoro sana Daktari.
And Ilwangani Christina Chieng, and she has already said much about our relationship with Daktari. We came for the launch simply because of the relationship we have with him. Mine is just to congratulate your brother on the launch of his book, and we are wishing him many more successful things ahead. Yeah, Erorukaman.
Mama Ines baby ka ginomaki. We met you with you in Canada. That was far away. You came all the way, and your mother taught Japan. Since that time, we just met with you in Toronto.
It's okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Anilungani Mama Ines. I'm Lynette Omondi Olwatch. Omondi is my husband. Olwatch to Japonj, the late Japonj Musa Olwatch. To Adnyare Madam Mary Moponjo Mr. Ochieng to Pojo Daktari. So I'm happy to be with you here today to celebrate the journey of a successful teacher, Mr. Ochieng. So Abirogi Nyathina Martin. She's called Mary Janet Olwatch. And Abirogi Nyaro Wadwa Miluongoni Kathleen Yunia Adiambo. So I'm very happy to be with you here today. Praying to God to bless the Ochieng's family, to protect them, and they should continue to do the same. And we are going to copy what's going on here. Even us, we don't know how we will not do that, but we're praying for the little children to copy what's going on here.
Thank you very much. She has a brilliant daughter who was the best in University of Toronto. got scholarships. And when we went for holiday there, we just bumped on them, and very inspiring story over there. I will be calling Professor Adam, but when Adams has spoken, some people cannot speak. Oje, Mwalimu taught you are not coming here to speak, just wave. So this.
Good evening, our guest of honor. Good evening, Professor Augustine Afulo, my mentor in this society and what I do daily, courtesy of Professor Augustine Afulo. Good evening, Prof. Kawono, it is good that I'm having a table with you. I'm very grateful that I can see you and talk what I'll talk today. I know you'll grab some. To the community of Kamhore, the community at large, my good friends and youth from this area and Imbo. Oyimreuru, I won't talk much because I only have now 1 minute. I think I will wish to say that Mwalimu here has also inspired me. He taught me in class 3, Enebo Punja Dholuo, ka walk Nairobi, ka join Kasau Primary, he taught me only for just 1 term, that is like 2 months, and I already knew Kijaluo. So what I is seeking here is Luo Kid gi Kotimbegi, Makai Ketho Tonyakine, Chira, Kotra Chandrock. I'm very grateful for that. On the other note is that as professionals, I know most of you refer me here as an official of Imbo Professional Association. I want to state it clearly that I unfortunately or fortunately resigned in that post with purpose, as Dr. says here, with what? Purpose. The purpose why I resigned today, I will say, because most professionals are here, and I want to request you guys to register. We are having our elections on 28th. I'm requesting you kindly, just register and come. It is not a political thing. So there's no lineup. His own talent, and I believe that I have the talent to take the professional forward as with my mentors here. I know they will guide me so well. Again, Jomoko Fiani, I'm still a youth. And I think that when the association gave those our fathers the mantle to run it, I'm seeing that there was an issue of getting in the youth and having that unity, which was not coming out. I want to be the champion of making that unity come out, and we have our meetings frequently as per our constitution. So that is what Silas Oje stands for. So the youth and our elders, Prof, kindly register. Come to Senge. Vote for me. I'll lead the association very well and make structures to work. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Daktari, for allowing me and requesting me to join. I won't say much about Mwalimu. Mwalimu apunjo nyaka jogebe madaktari sani bende. So I think I've done a lot, and thanks so much. I don't want to bore you guys. Kamano.
Nyapela ma ngamalo nyuolo nyathi bochaki. This gentleman nyuolo nyathi bochako sipora chieng. Emomiyo en very specially kai. Koro ochaki the most mama kacha ikelo ni nyathi omosi. Ochaka chaka minwa sipora chieng. Minwa. Koro nyathi ochaki koro ber ori kasao waye. Thank you very much. The next speaker is a special person. Before he comes, I say something. Professor Adam Solo is somebody that I've known for long. I'm very humbled that he has come to grace this occasion. Professor Adam is really epitome of being a scholar, having taught at the University of Nairobi for very long, being a chair of the department, dean, anything you can call. Professor Adam Solo, we shared a life with him when I went to study in the US, Delaware. I remember that trip when he was doing his PhD in political science. I remember I was missing food from home, so we had to eat some food there. We arrived at your house midnight, I think, and we found him awake. We're doing a road trip from Washington, D.C. We have a lot in common with Professor Damsolo. Professors are national leaders. Some of you may not know. When you see him here, it's like Raila also gets this occasion. So Baba is already here. You know that. When you see Adam Solo, you already seen Raila. So Raila has come to this occasion. So Professor is quite linked to this family, believed a lot in our father. And there's so many things. Today he'll tell me what is it that he used to come to take, collect from my father. Professor has come here with a wife who's also an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. Professor also at some point did law. Adam has never stopped reading. So not only PhD political science, he's a lawyer, but he has his dear wife Winnie, who's also an advocate of the High Court and advocate of KRA. I don't know whether you want to introduce him or I tell Winnie to stand. I can see Winnie as the young one. Then Professor just come. Winnie, wave to the people. Yeah, Winnie there is the wife, Mrs. Adams, advocate of the High Court, a lawyer for the KRA. So, Kapek or Koyot. So I will call Professor, because these academic things, to say what he has to say, Prof. Thank you very much.
Kwanza adwago ni Dr. Ong'Ech erokamano. Moloyo chieng' ni ten chieng' Ochieng. En chieng' Ochieng', to chieng' ni ang'e through owadgi matin ni. To gima na notice en ni giherore ndi. Giherore sama un together. So kanonyisa no Ochieng' notebook, tawacho ni nyaka chopi, because I'm a friend of this family. And also with Dr. Ong'Ech, he has already introduced my wife. I'm here with all my children. So gima Dr. Ong'Ech okowacho, nikidholuo en nyambrecha. Nyithindo ariyo matindogi, en mokwongo neno kapok amul. En mogologi kuom mama. Mane how close we are. Koro ng'e kata nyithinda moloya. To penja gimoro. Nwach nokong'ega, naluroga, talidho, tadhi ago mbaka, gi Ong'Ech dola. Nang'ise mana bang'e, nadhi ago mbaka gi baba. So, oluonga na Adams Olo to wuora oloko kinda, jimbo ka. To nying mane Olo chaka en Ramogi. Koro juok Ramogi omakaga matin. Magi culture gi. Aero somo, aero nono, got Ramogi na asewuotho e shrines go te. Koro nong'isa ni ng'ama bende nyang'isa kit luo gi timbe gi e yimbo ka. En Ong'Ech dola. Mane gima nalidho niga. Ir Ong'Ech dola kawuono ng'isa. To nogona mbekni mang'eny ahinya. Moko bende nie documenting than documenting. To moloyo nwach kawuono wane launching mar bug Ochieng' ni. Aseng'iye matin. Wacho miyago mana ka. To gima neno en resilience. School fees otamre. Odi kasa kasa. Ni kata sama school fees onangre, ti register mana private. Manyaki igaga ondamo go. Bichopo kumichopeni. Be retire. To 40 time ribedo tired. Omiyo koro adwa wacho ni congratulations very much. And God bless you. All that you will do in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can you start to Professor? Professor Tini Imbokai. Pamuru Professor. Clap one more time. How many? serious professors do we have? So, thank you. Now, there's a special gentleman who wrote a foreword to my book. This man has been very close to our family. He wrote my foreword. He also used to spend a lot of time with my father. Today, also, I want him to tell me. You know, these people, these two gentlemen, they have one thing in common. They would come and spend a lot of time with my father. They don't even tell me they are coming. And then they will tell me later. So there must have been something on my father. Jared Okolo Yengo family has a lot of tie with this family. Naftalo Yengo was one of the greatest friends of my late dad. Jared Okolo Yengo went to school with my late brother in Usenga High School. I think they were competing. I think record is that Dalmas defeated him in maths, but he defeated Dalmas in literature and English. And Gerald worked as the administrator in charge of Kenya Parliament. He's also a person who has inspired the community. He holds some masters, several masters. I want him to come. He knows this family very well. I want him to come and give his keynote address. Gerald, Janam. In my book review, also there in the video.
Erokamano, Dr. Ong'Ech. All protocols of SAP. Kawacho Martin, before I make my remarks, I'll introduce my wife who is seated over there. You stand and wave. And then I'll introduce my last born son. He has been acting for a long time, but we've now decided to confirm him as last born. Stand up and wave. Abenda Bron Chako Martin Kanyisun Gimanomi Abiro Ganeno Dr. Ong'Ech. I think that is what Professor Adam said. And I should also start from there, where I used to come and see Ong'Ech Dollar. Ong'Ech Dollar na biro ganeno nikech en jaduong' mariek mong'e history machon. Tabende na hero history. Baba wabo hero history. And then my dad used to tell me that Ong'Ech knows more than he knows. So I would come to consult Ong'Ech. And for that matter, Professor Afulo, one day Kogo book, Mormon US, now it is being printed about Dimo dynasty. So that book, Professor, I think should be here in the next 1 month or so. Mane momio na biro ganeno Ong'Ech. Katieko mano, adwa wacho ni kawuono kawani book launch today. I think I'm one person who has known Joseph Ochieng for over 50 years. This is a man we used to play football with somewhere here. Dr. Ong'Ech was just a spectator then. We used to play football with the late Ogola and Ochieng. There is one thing that I know about Joseph that is jovial, is loud and voluminous in a positive way. He loves football and also he loves maths. But that is a common trait in the family. It is not only with Joseph. That is a common trait in the family. When I came, Dr. Ong'Ech said that Dr. Ong'Ech decided to give me this book before it is launched. So I looked at the title of this book. And what I saw a book with which is having 405 pages. 405 pages. And I saw a story about a Form 2 dropout who retired as an approved graduate teacher. So when you're reading this book from page 1 to page 4 or 5, just look for two things. look for resilience or determination, and look for focus. There is determination and focus in this book as the theme. Just read the story, but look for resilience, determination, and focus. That is all about this book. Awe umnag matin go. Kenda go erokamano. I'm simply saying congratulations to Joseph. I'm very excited to be here. May God bless you. And I think I'll follow suit. Thank you.
Erokamano janam. Unigadams. Unigramu gadams nyakundi book. Aburo skuma ukabisa. Now it's a time to hear about the book now in details. I'm going to invite, in fact, all this writing, we attribute them to Professor Augustine Afulo. So he's the one who started writing my father's book. And after that, he wrote my book. After that, he has written Mwalimu's book. Professor Augustine Afulo is also a age mate in school. We've grown up together, also knows this family. So I want to tell him to take this opportunity to actually tell us about the book. Then we can launch the book. Then a few people will receive the book. And then, we call it a day. So Professor Augustine Afulo wrote this book. Our books are always in a record of time. This book was in a record of time 3 months. And the book is out. And the book, as I said earlier, is anchored in the US Amazon. So it's a book you can buy whether you're in Canada, whether you are in Europe. He made sure it just doesn't write locally. He makes sure that it's approved by the Amazon in the US. And so it's made us be where we are. Anybody who wants to write a book, Professor Ramogi might have a different view because he's that line of social scientist, but it's quite a resource in writing. Professor, tell us about the book.
Adoke erokamano maduong' e chokruok ma kawuono. En gima ne mbake wachako chien kacha. Nochake chon chien ahinya. But ing'eyo ni gimoro igoga kidamb mos kutemo generate, kutemo create momentum. Momentum ne wachope. Mwachake 3 months ago. Koro kapodo kachako build theme mar book. Adaher kwayo Mwalimu Masere mabende osewuotho gi japuonj owachi just matin eka nadhi mbele.
Back in the year 1993, eka wang'oyo pok aneno Mr. Ochieng kapuonjo Kasao. In fact, nohero music, ohero GHC, nohero English be. Samoro be ne iye jawang' kwareme subjects mamoko, to puonjowa komiwa short notes. And gi the late Mr. Jackson Owuor Wanjira, andiko something about them. Gine mane gi introduce night preps in Kasao Primary School, mainly to improve performance. So, in 1993, kasetimo penj, tok nadhi e Seko in 94. 94 no, baba nonyisa nadhi anuo bar Kanyango Primary, na iye badhi anuoyo. Kadok atimo penj bar Kanyango Primary, baba otamre no kadhi school, chaka adhi anuoyo kendo Muguna 1995. Koro kanyo Ben Wanjira gi Riyomba, not Ben, Fred dhi Seko, an pod adong kadok nuoyo, to ok ni naremga, nakaloga. To nojaluongaga mondo opuonja matin wach weche mag social life ge. Kakalo penj tadhi bar Kanyango 1996. Ukaida makalo penj in 1999. Form 4 with a clean, clear B-. I was supposed to join university, but pesa ne onge. Direcha B- qualified, pesa ne onge. Koro kane wach college obiro ni, ene mono kawa achiel kachiel botera Nyamonye.
madhi andiko adhi a fill a form mane ikawogo ji e TTC. Koro the same 2000 andiko something on this book about 1.5 pages. Go and read it. Mane kama nomiya roots of whom I am today. But I'll have to recognize him kabisa. An ka gi yawuoyi ariyo mabe nyaka luong mbele ka mondo obi onegi America. Negi kalo maybe through Mr. Masere. Vincent Onyango Ong'Ech and Chris Obera, kindly just come for a minute or less. Kindly. I'm waiting for the two to call me when you are graduating anywhere in this world. I'm waiting. In 2000, at Ragak Primary School, kanye manene gik mane pok aneno ga e school mora mora. Sepuonjo Ragak, Mbita Academy, Isita Mbita, Mahanga Primary School, Magombe Primary School, Muguna Primary School, Pala Primary School, Abida Primary School, and right now I'm the head teacher, Barkanyango Primary School. Uoini, David ni onge class abiriyo in the lot of 2000. Okange gima dino timre Ragak. Jok mane ni kode ong'eyo, be ong'eyo. Tinde kagi gona gamba, andike bugni maber. I'll be very brief kanyo. Christopher Kweaga nodwa wacho gimoro matin.
Mwalimu wacho ni waluonge graduation. Mwalimu challenge accepted.
Erokamano. When do you have anything to say?
I think you missed my first graduation. The second one will be coming up shortly. I will invite you.
We shall come. We shall continue coming. So don't give up, because your mentors has now reached the highest peak that we could go. Kapo katieko, I would congratulate this group of Omondi Wanjira, Ben Wanjira, Fred Wanjira, this group of Silas Oje, Anthony Agok, Nemsi Nicholas Wanjira, and maybe, to be sincere, Dr. Fulo's family. When I was taken to Barkanyango as a head teacher, what I saw, they say in Duluati caught my mouth. Direct translation. When I presented that to the Kanyathon Association in Nairobi, that group, the Fulo group, the Wanjira group, mainly from Kasao, Muguna around area, J and the rest, those people did something, and right now the first light of Barkanyango has a little bit changed, and some of the learners will be surprised. Otherwise, continue with the same spirit. I'm there. Kindly just give me or help me with any assistance I may require.
Capital Kadi on building the team, explaining the title and the topic and the contents of the book. Ik madongo my book, Capital Kadonje. So I do penjo mada kario kungo penjo mokwongo. Professor wacho ne jalimo ga jaduong ka. Jaduong Okola Oyengo ne jalimo ga jaduong ka. Nalimo ga jaduong ka. So there was something common. I would start from there. And also it would also build on to something Mabende I could have wished to say now coming through that. Why the Ong'Ech family? Kechasebedo Kakorowa appeared a number of times on some projects within the family. So the first thing, and 05 Kanyo, and then Abelman the multi-party. Kokochoko 06, so Japuja Puloto. Korokoto, occurring in which multi-party of Mwalimu Tongeyo, and others came above in that line. Koro Duaro guidance Mangay. Koro rang around, so I've no, makata minwa Margaret Afulo Nyagwala owacho ni kae koro ng'ama dipimni wach maber to Jaduong' Ong'ech. Koro Jaduong' Ong'ech nokochakre 06 nakawoga like a foster father nikech jopuonj Afulo nosetho koro a few years earlier. Koro atemo list jok monego penjo kuom japuonj Afulo nikech madidik bug ng'ama osetho to bedo matek, koro ng'eto nyaka bed list mabor mar mondo iyud facts. Kendo ok facts kuom ng'ato achiel, idwaro facts kuom ji mang'eny. Na list 70 monego los go one on one. Eka tiek bug japuonj Afulo. Jaduong' Ong'ech was key there. Jaduong' Ong'ech ne key for one reason. Ne en jaklas gi japuonj Afulo Usenge sector. 1936-39 ne gisomo kachiel Usenge. Kane giwuok kae to ne ging'ere kaka jo-Kasau. Ng'eny ji dhiga e grube ma according to the late japuonj Akuro makoro thoni, nuromo mana gondiegi. Upasre kodgi kama. Wuoth as a group. Samoro be along the way, jomoko be kara odino nu kamoro dwa nogow jogweng' moro. Ne en ga kamano. So ne giwuotho kaka jo-Kasau. So ne gin strongly together. So nikech that link ne koro miyo ne wachako bedo machiegni. And then now, kachako ndiko bug japuonj Afulo, ne koro abiro ga kuom Jaduong' mondo ayud wechego. So this is a very key informant, not just a key informant, a very key informant. Now, bang'e to daktari gochona. To Professor, and it was around 2017. Professor, Jaduong' ni, Mzee Ong'ech ni dola. One as family, and an as a doctor. Ge neno. Angen tie health challenges mang'eny. Atemo kadhano, an link, every other daktari mad team and anything. Mano I take care of. Gik mochame dala koro en gon kech osepidho wa miye chiemo. Oganda utudre go maber. But I still just feel there is something missing. There is some missing link. Do you think Mzee Dola is writable? Do you think nanti anything mawat madwandi kuom Jaduong' Ong'ech? That was the genesis of ndiko bug Jaduong' Ong'ech. Koran bayudo thuolo mar mondo wandik about Jaduong', so we had to build that theme. No, okay, what can we write about him? Gik manong'eyo became very central. All these things manong'eyo ka became part of that theme. Jaduong' Ong'ech nong'eyo everything about Imbo and almost everything about Luo. Nong'eyo edete, what you call social capital professor. This was the center of it all. And family ni okawe. So, daktari, that was the center of interest. 2. Kakoro, wachako ndiko bug Jaduong' Ong'ech. Later, daktari bende express interest, bua pursue, bua ndiko buge, we formally launched 2022 March, I think 6th of March. That was a launch here. Mzee Ong'ech ka. So, in this family, therefore, this is the 3rd book we are writing. I would say the 4th book, for this reason. Kane Jaduong' pod ngima, indeed kane watieko buge mokwongo no. Jaduong', in fact, kane owinjo ni ndiko buge, ne en very excited, and indeed daktari mano nomedo ngima Jaduong'. I would tell you that. Nomedo ngimane. Nikech mzee ne en excited, ma en koro ka buk nowuok, to somo to koro ok nyal somo, wang'e bok nyal neno go gimoro, but rely on Emmanuel Nenka, to moloyo to Asu. Asu the financial director mar Jaduong'. Then Emmanuel Nenka koda nyikwayo moko. Ne somo ne, ba page by page, ne ntie manokete wi en page ni oting'o gima kama, page buga ni oting'o gima kama, page buga ni oting'o gima kama. Bocho ochopo thuolo makoro, ka ng'ato biro lime, to refer. Ne page no, yawie page makama. He was very proud. That, I believe, nomedo ngimane. A few years. O that 97, makoro nyo Jaduong' Akuro bothoe. So, when a family opens itself for biography, makoro this family has, Jaduong' Ong'Ech did, Daktari did, Mwalimu now has. A book biography and iyawo ngimani for open scrutiny. Iyawo ngimani elela ne piny mangima. Ok winj ka daktari wacho ne Amazon. Sani ku search Amazon sani na kata ne ndiko na kata nying Mwalimu kae. Wacho ni Mwalimu Joseph Ochieng book. Ibo neno gin online. Inyalo access, inyalo ng'iewe sani. Right now as we talk. Mar daktari the same. And mar dollar the same. They are, so kori iyawo ngimani to the public for public scrutiny. Okay, I'm not aware of any other family in this Imbo, mosetimo kamano, was exposed their life for public scrutiny. So it's a special family. That's one. That's why I'm interested in it. Mokuongo. Mar ariyo, joma kendo koro oseyawe matine na joka fulo. Mabe wonwa ne koro kachako ndiko buge to koro ing'en agenda ng'eny. Eventually nobedo book mar pages 2,000. Ma we have to split it into 3 volumes. Ai bang'e ka Margaret Gwala bed notho, be wadhi wachako mare. Koro bedo koro kar kafulo kanyo, buge 3. Mara ben gatie, be online kuno. Biography mara the first phase. Andiko gid phases nikech na realize ni nyalo ga bedo kata pages 5,000. So you break them into pieces. The last one andiko was NYS life. Mane 3-4 months mane mabeti NYS. That is a phase of that life. So Daktari, that was the link with the Mzee, and that is our interest with Mzee. Kafulo Ong'Ech, they have opened their lives for public scrutiny. So I'll always have a special space for them. Other families have not. In fact, professionals will about themselves. Samilus about yourselves. All your weaknesses you have exposed to the society, and all your strengths. Unfortunately, ng'enywa temo ga no hide our weaknesses. Iparo nkoro dhano bo jaji. So what? Okwan nyiseche. Kata mna pop bende can only be 99.9% right. Okonyal be 100, because is not a god. So, the moment you have accepted nkoro in open, ngechen people are able to learn lessons from you and also how not to do it for mistakes manitimo. So I would encourage us, Mondo Wandik. It is on that note, I would want to first congratulate Mwalimu for having the courage to expose himself for public scrutiny. Man is a very important step in our lives. Kirango Maslow's ladder of needs. It is almost the very last level. He has fulfilled everything any other person would talk about. Now he's at the top. Because he cares nothing about nothing else. In fact, it's more or less just level Mar Bishopska. Because really, nothing else matters to him now. So congrats, Mwalimu. Thanks. It's a pleasure. So really, that's where we are. It is based on that Makoradwana about the book. And a time bedo brief. Timekeeper. Doctor, I know you are good in timekeeping. Walimu nyalo gamio syllabus. Nyalo galoso dakika bicho tieko syllabus or 5 years gitieko syllabus. Depending on time mommy, unfortunately. So Doctor, 25 minutes. Fine, thanks. So I tried to make some write-up matintin on the Mar book. Gik manie book. Akete sections maybe about a beach, but mokuongo. Title Mar book wacho ni life journey of a successful career teacher and education champion. Koro mano oting'o weche mokeyie kanyo mwadwa nwatem gero. Mane tija man go kae kawuono. Ngechon ngima mar japuonj ma osetiyo maber, motieko maber. Mane gima waloso kawuono. And indeed, igni 37 continuous service is not a joke. Jomatin mam rich mano. Anachak content. Because samoro okichuno neme biang maduto ang do you the book. Koro anyalo nyiso un to buko ting'ang'o. Chapters ne romo 15. Preliminaries. Section mokwongo ting'o giluongo ni preliminaries, declaration kod mamoko. Nikech en kar chako. Chapter mokwongo oting'o roots mag Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech. Nikech en tiende kuma noae. Kamhore. Karodi. Now, so ka ng'ato ndiko about himself, biography, in the African context, any important mondo wang'e kama waae. Imbo waka wan a very diverse community. Historically, documented by our seniors, one like almost up to 50 different clans. 20 in between seche moko ma samoro dhano dwa gwere moro mok ber. To kirango maber, according to Dolakae, wan mna wede te. Ang dagwe joko wil nadi. Nyako wil nkacha. An nagwe nadi to witi be, ogutu be mna woda witi nyako wil. Ang dachak gweyo nadi. So inyalo dhi to all the depth. Tana chak gweyo joka gwa nadi. To Margaret nyagwala. Oamno thachka. Dak timre. Emomiyo, anyuola wa maimboka, we are integrated. To fuo moro samoro donjo nwaga, nwadwaga wacho ngane chao chai, ngane cha timango. What I'm trying to say, and we must be proud of Kamawa I. Imboni is multicultural. Nyaka each of us obed proud of Kami I. Okni yero ni di nyuoli kanye. Ano nyuola jaka nyathuon, jaka dimo, jaka wamra. Mana is who I am. Okanyal change. So when you define yourself and you achok mi I, mano is you. Please be proud of Kami I anyuola nino katuna jiario. Mano is who you are. Tem and vision mara jo imbo wakae, imbo professionals and prof here. And vision mara engan all those 50 something clans. One document ourselves. Wadwar od kwerewa, kwarwa ka kwarwa. Mondo wager duonde, wager dalane. All the 50. I would tell you Imbo would be like Mombasa. So that everybody comes here for tourism. That would be a point of Gimanyalo riwaka chiel very much, and it would be actually income generating. Hotende nyalo bedo mang'eny kwendegi. Those are opportunities. Samoro the diversity, we try to use it differently, negatively. Please be proud of Kamiae. Wach kwaru jingo. Kamhore kae. And well, let me leave it there. So chapter 1 therefore. I normally like chako from the roots. Nikech okwa woke wiriath. Okwa wote koriamo. Wachako from piny. So the root must come out very well. And Jadwong was very good in that. Jadwong Mzee Dola was very good in that. That is part of a reason, Momio, you would actually track him. And anyalo budo kodeka in many hours. Ugo kodembaka in between all on into Martin, in by dish laptop. And laptop, ananga working office. Kore laptop kasebedo, Jadwong podi yueyo, and by dish Martin. Kango you the tholo kendo, wagombaka. And those kind of things. Samori yudo sodamoro, umadokode. So basically, kamanuke kakimedo, gimajodongogo. So chapter marario, birth and early childhood experiences. Oting a lot of details. Kaka japuonj no chako and kumochope. Chapter maradek, education, school, education, that is school life, college life. Mano kaka japuonj no somo, secondary, primary, secondary, koda college. Chapter marangwen en kend mare, marriage life. Awa winjo ni japuonj nege mine mang'eny, and awa neno mine ka, nyalega unfortunately no se pass, but odentie, jogentie. So Mwalimu, slightly polygamous. And he really represents the face of what I call modern polygamy. Nikech, jithindo kanyalo biro ka, mine obet, ineno ka, nyagem, nyagoma obet kanyimine. Mane is really what okay, so then, marriage life. Then chapter 5, children and parenting experience. Bang bedo gi nyithindo. Yes, the first godly role, the first responsibility ma Nyasaye omiyowa en rito nyithindo. Idhi lemo ka nyithindi sewe ni chiemo. Okiwe ka nyithindi jwang'o, nidhi lemo kore kiduogi mi nyathi manyonyuol nyoro ni kia gimotimo. The first godly role, the first lemo en rito nyithindo. Emomiyo japuonj we praise him for having gone through that. Nyithindo kora 15, mano is a huge number, manyalo be overwhelm me. Ma if I were to use language mar anasetiyo be kwende mang'eny asewuotho kwende mang'eny asego mbaka gi mang'eny. Kan kapso war ndalo moko. Tam moro nitie jalego moro motiyo nago. Ichiethredre ne odher. Mano language ma jalejo beri, alego beri. Chiethredre ne odher. Ngechen chopo thuolo ma samoro everything is not really coming right. So basically it's like, well, there you are. So then chapter 9, Mwalimu retirement. Mwalimu retirement, say retire. He has hung these boots. Mr. Mwalimu Koro, the picture Makori literally hang your boot, Makoro will be in that other volume. We literally had to capture a photo Moroma boots so they hanged behind. That is coming at its right time. Community support and service. Mwalimu we have had was a support Oganda ahinya eyore mang'eny. And indeed that is what we should do. Anyuola mang'eny jomose somo temo ga hide behind ditch teach. Mwalimu has done it here. Osekonyo Oganda, and indeed Dhano can confirm Mwalimu has actually done a lot for them. Chapter 8 akalo. Primary school administration. Kaka no bedo primary school otiyo nyaka odhiyo ochopo otieko his work before I go for retirement. So you retire. Chapter 9, chapter 10, community support and service. Chapter 11 was alluded to by Daktari and others. Gimano make him think of writing a book. It was just near death, the tragedy Marusenge. Mane is well expressed in chapter 11. Chapter 12, Mwalimu in the words of members of the great Ong'Ech family. So Kanyon tributes from different members, categorized, wandiko, from different groups. Ongenga mwa weyo. Of course, edition 2, Ntinda makoro nyo podu woto matinu givesi. Dipoka, by that time, wange koro neno. Dipoka gindiko mbo medikanyo. Those are for edition 2 and so on and so forth. Then, chapter 13, opinion on evolution of Kenya education system. Indeed, this forms part of the theme, mar book. Nikech Mwalimu, nen japuonj. And being japuonj means we must talk much about education. So the man gives us a lot about him. So chapter 13, education system. Now we know it is CBC. But why did we leave 844 anyway? And those kind of systems. Chapter 14 again, education for competency, focusing on CBC. Chapter 15, photo gallery. Chapter 16, we decided Nwaketi something, what he call the home as an institution. Mana is there. Then, of course, now, under education, maybe just a bit of elaboration on some of the items. I guess I have like, Dr. I guess around 15 minutes. Then I'll be done. So, going further into what we call dedication, I want to highlight some aspects of the book. To some details, I've just given you table of contents. Now, quick highlights. So, dedication here. The family who persistently and consistently encouraged me, in particular, Dr. Ong'Ech. So, Mwalimu is acknowledging his younger brother for having inspired him. So, samoron tie cases ma owete udakale ngamatin okmodre pi ngamaduong. So, mana is also a lesson. Ngamatin samoro nyaloga bende encourage ngamaduong bende or the olu step maber. So, right. To put to print a reflection of the journey of my life, right from birth, growing up, pursuing my teaching career path, and championing education in society. So he's acknowledging Daktari, his younger brother, for that. Then dedicating the book to his elder brother, the late Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech, whom he truly believed led a purposeful life and left a legacy for the great Ong'Ech family. Indeed, as we go through this, we realize that it was a relay. It was a relay. Jaduong' Ong'Ech, to be odiro gola matin, tayo gola bende dio mako, dire Ochieng matin, Ochieng go dio mako dire daktari. So it was a relay. Can a break be in between? It was going to be a havoc. So then, of course, summarized Mwalimu Ochieng as a champion. I'll read that quickly. I'm going to just summarize part of it. So there are 9 levels of championship. Mwalimu Ochieng is actually talked on. 9 levels of championship. But Adwana, some just a quick one, maybe a summarized version. The 65-year-old retired Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech began at an extremely low level and scale, having to fend for his family through fishing, a pengo in quotes. And we ensured some people samoro are ashamed of kumagi aye. Samoro wan ashamed of kamawa aye. Anwa nyiso yan kumi aye no. Chieno kianyga kumi aye no. Be proud of it. Document it's important. Okwa dong ewi yath. Nyaka wachaga from the root. So apengo, Mwalimu and fishing and whatever, that has been part of it. Mwen sure nwago e picha ka kutinga pengo kuwakete buka. In retirement, jomoko paro gan koro kichako chopo level moto koro mochien chai weyo. Jomoko kichamo garech ka tinde wachamo rech ka wadwoge Christmas. Wadwa chamo rech ka. Wadwa bango rech mok berberie. To ka wadok Nairobi, to wawondren koro wan joma no civilized. Koro miga ndim moro ni bie rech ng'we. Bullshit. And rech mnamar kado cha, original cha, mane en, modongo, are rumors. So he prematurely drops out of school in Form 2 due to school fees challenges. So Mano did not stop him from moving beyond. Drops out of Form 2 due to school fee challenges. He, however, miraculously joins TTC and graduates as a P2 teacher on merit. And you recall, it was earlier said, ni daktari ema nodhi ong'ado nam botero ne barua mar TTC ken igni ochiko katero ne mbita kopodogo raku na majaduong' be no ofinyo baton ne mar social capital moro matin boyudo ne tich moro mbita bang' Form 2 ni. So as he did that, so somehow kendo ng'amo dwaro ne college ni kendo wadgi mna maduong' ogola. So there was this love within the family. So and graduates as a P2 teacher on merit. Upon his posting, he immediately embarks on continuous professional development. Ngechen kamano chake no okno dio chunye. No ng'iyo kanyo ke potential mare. No ng'e ni ne gi thuolo mar dhi mbele. Kano yudo thuolo. So notemo create thuolo na en owuon. He registered for Form 4 exams and passed all subjects. Already registered a page mar Form 4. Bokalo subjects duto. He enrolled for diploma in education course with Kemi. Odio register bange diploma course with Kemi. Bokalo kendo. Obedo promoted to P1 from P2 manenga teacher. And then within a short time, by 1997, ingano chako ponjo 1981. 97, that is 16 years later, 16 years later, he becomes a deputy. When he becomes a deputy, Enkanyo, unfortunately, Jomoko are still stuck on his past. Jomoko rangenoke to ngat manyoane namnakai maja Form 2 ni. To korob deputy wane timangoka. Those kind of talks, they're always there. What I call the idle talks. The real idle talks. They're always there. Tokin ngat machiko 80, tokisud. So, and within 4 years to headship, 2000, obedo jatelo. Kanyo be makendo jok mabene samoro ja ngiegan to mine to koro timango, mine to koro dwarango. And by the way, kano di TTC. Maliera odi Form 2, Form 1, mabende through the Warom link. Odi Form 1 Maliera. Kodi Maliera, okawa higni ariyo, otimo Kenya Junior. Kotimo Kenya Junior, to headmaster ne makanyo. Headmaster ne Maliera Secondary. Kendo eno kuon kakoro tieko makendo koro di TTC ni kendo koro college men mare, kendo koro classmate mare. You call it wonders of the world. Mine not in form 6. Ntie form 4 sky bende mine go classmates. En ja form 2, otimo Kenya Junior. They are now classmates. Kapo ni rank rimna ki na nanyal. Ichoba chope get ni tilokri. Ichika chika iti no ntimo introduction ni tilokri. Nikechi paro na gimidwa puonjo ka en mar jo form 4 form 6. Manok no diye. O decide ne jani ni twadhi na marom. But he successfully through that journey, obedi japuonj. Champ at another level. So, he registered for Form 4 exams and passes all subjects. He then enrolls for diploma in education. So I've said that. He joins and gets entrenched and gets entrenched in and gets benefits from CIR Savings and Credit Society. That was well said here by his colleagues in the circle. I'll not go to the depth of that. Through this, he builds his first decent house. Makiu, all through within the period Mochako, poden gweit margik monyako team. So okonyal rangre kende nkech Africa wadaka society. Okirangri kendi tontie jomoko monegi rang, you must set priorities. So he sets his priorities. Odia yudo his first kind of money from the circle. Togero go ode. But again, pays for Daktari's fee that was later to turn very positively. Fortunes mag the entire family. So what you call decision making. There are cases masa morin pesa moro matin to ikian to gini atim nadi to nyathi wadu moro nyathi umoro to chandre kamoro. You never know how important that small money you may be contributing would be in the lives of those people. Because that little step he did. When you look at the Ong'Ech family, you can't compare with many other families in this neighborhood, I can tell you. Courtesy of Daktari blew that horn, isn't it? Kama Mwalimu no ko Timo what he did. Would anything else have happened? Yeah, and Jonathan Mbewa Ongeka. Jonathan Mbewa is normally a good story I tell. He's a professor who never became. Maybe we know him. I think we know him. But Timo Kode Barka Nyango ka, class Abirio. Why do the points marom? CP. But he was always number 1 from class 4 to class 7. So, unfortunately, difference between Kombe Fulo and Nafulo could be able to afford some little fee. What a Ranyangoma. And he was not able. That's something is the difference. Korokin professor. Kigal in professor. Namano in Maninyaki bed. There are others who could have been. There are many working professors here, crawling professors. Kai. It is not you alone. It is a privilege. Please, mana mi ikonyi go ganda. Tokika nikete win mana ni dua sungrigo. Nyasai benen yanena. So following his decent, excellent service to members, he gets elected as a circle leader. He becomes a circle leader, it is well said here. He later founds the Bondo Circle, which he diligently serves simultaneously as school administrator. These twin positions he held until his retire in 2018, after 37 years of exemplary service. He mentored, supported, guided his siblings, and they have spoken here. Nyithind gi olosoka, nyithind dola olosoka, jogdola olosoka duto. Siblings, families, unano nyikwayo kai, nyikwa dola kanka, koloso one by one. They ensured, particularly in each family, had to have a graduate. Mano is a minimum in Ong'Ech family. That much I've interacted much with them, and I know some details and some facts and some commitments. They use all means to ensure that they push that. And that's empowerment. Koro gi empower Nyakach, gi empower Migori, gi empower Oyoma, and everywhere. And it's linked. So Mwalimu played that role. He had his brother, Ogola, who became sickly at a point, and therefore he had to play what you can as well call the elder brother's role, the elder son's role. So he played a very major role in doing all that. Mwalimu nene dineo mondo oyud kalam, buge kod uniform mag school. Mana is something worth emphasizing. It has been said by many, written by many. Mwalimu Ong'Ech and family. Mano be in the book watch many family members. I can of course Mwalimu here be summarize very well. Nebet boot book bear BIRO BANGE. Tongue twisting. Tongue twisting. Bet boot book bear BIRO BANGE. Butamie.
Bet boot book ber biro bang'e. Bed boot book ber biro bang'e. Bed boot book ber biro bang'e.
En gino wokuome. So en onyalo en rese repeat mang'eny. But given a different person, would have been a different story. So those are important quotes. Quoted from Nicholas Owino Masere, head teacher, Barkanyango Primary School. Another saying Marja Puonj, popular saying. Ngam dogi mondo iwach kisungu to kisungu biro woka woka. Open your mouth and speak English, then that English will come out. Quote cited by Jacqueline Onuko, a niece. Jacqueline, are you there? Jacqueline Onuko. Emmanuel is a niece, daughter of Margaret, one of the sisters, and Christine Juma Ochieng, that's her daughter. That was a common statement from Mwalimu, and of course, you can be sure it made a difference. Then, of course, the last thing I'll say is maybe some highlights of the forwarder, Professor Boklin Omedo Bebe, who was Mwalimu's classmate. This was Mwalimu's classmate, so in his absence, I was requested Mondo Awachi Achelario in a summary form, Gimano Temowacho. My kakane or describe Mr. Chieng. My classmate. My ilongon Professor Boklin Omedo Bebe, and a professor of livestock production, Egerton University. Now, this is what he says about Mwalimu Ochieng Ong'Ech, locally known as More. Both sent to Maliera Secondary by Mr. Warom. That was the legendary head teacher of Usenge. No nonsense head teacher. Now, he also describes Mwalimu Ochieng like this. He was a tall and black young man. He was conspicuous in class from day one. He frequently laughed when speaking and in high voice. Now, so, where do you think this more came from? More. Not in a negative way, but that's him. That's the personality. That is somebody nen code Form 1 and Form 2. So he frequently asked teachers questions, especially during maths and English lessons. He was a good footballer. And it's no surprise. He's even a registered, well, he's a trend coach. Maka is sitting on a talent. But it's not a surprise. David Wode is actually a top player in Gor Mahia. It's not a surprise. And also, Mwalimu, there is another relative, Mabende, near school man, Majengo Koso. Another, is it a niece, nephew? So it's something in the line. So then we played during games times. But Ong'Ech loved books much more. Negithi games, hero games, but Mwalimu Ochieng no hero games, no hero books, moloyo. He seriously concentrated in his books. He hated people making noise during night preps. Oknen prefect, but kigo koko to yeno bedroll mar prefect. Over the weekends, he stayed in school reading and completing assignments. Makyu, nen day and boarding. So boarders, wokoko, tokoro yot mondo beko, sorry, the scholars noko, yot mondo the boarders be join giagweng. Man was common. One kane one young man no kata kane one boarders. Nejo moko diga gweng, whether with or without permission. So you can imagine a school mixed. Sorry, man day and boarding. That was the normal thing. So other people are joining their colleagues in the village and in a school. When classmates went into the villages in the company of day scholar classmates. Ong'Ech was always ahead of the rest of us in maths lessons and was always topping the class. Mano professor talking. Mano Professor Bebe talking about Mr. Ochieng. Emamio, when you reflect on kane nowe nkoro away from 2, nkoro dwa chinchunya dwa chido kanyo, then of course it would be like another lost case. Now, among our classmates at Maliera, Ong'Ech has again stayed on top. He has pioneered excellence in writing his own autobiography. So this is unique because many of us fear exposing ourselves. As I did put it earlier, it's an open, you become an open book for public scrutiny. And many of us think we are supposed to look like God. And again, so basically, by the time you decide you are an open book, let people talk. But there'll be other people to learn from what you have actually done, like Professor here is saying. What prepared Ong'Ech for this illustrious and exemplary public service is self-confidence, passion for excellence, and lauding successes. He is a role model educationist with distinguished service. I personally benefited from Ong'Ech's brilliance in math. I was weaker than him. Mano is a professor talking. He assisted me to solve exercises in math that proved difficult for me to understand in class. In synergistic partnership, I provided assistance in biology and chemistry. Most of the time, I bear everything. And I just got more bende. Kata ni udoga 0. Between 0 and 100. Kirango the Bible. Kata sa moro Quran. Numbers nyasai no chued cheng mane. It's not stated. But you can be sure 0 and 100 were created the same day. And God had a reason for each of them. So kine 0, you are just within that curve. I call it normal distribution curve. There must be extremes corny. So when you get 0, that is yours. It is in record. And I do grade D in soil physics, and I know I own that grade. Now I do grade D in food technology. I know I have that grade, and I know it is mine. And I'm proud to always say it. I got grade D in chemistry in A level. It is mine. I know where it came from. So samoro wadwa pando gik mane wayudo. Mano kyudo kabemna magi. Miyudo kabemna magi. So be proud of who you are. That is when you build this thing you call self-esteem. No, not ilwara ngima ipara mnan kigo kona kamato ntie gimoro madhikai. So Mogik, Ong'Ech and I became close. We shared about our families. During our talks, we realized we both landed at Maliera Secondary on shared courtesy of Mr. Warom, who was the headmaster of Usenge. Raising fee seemed a challenge for the young Ong'Ech, but he was rarely sent home. He had cultivated good rapport with the headmaster, Mr. Odiembo. We encouraged one another, supported each other, socially and academically. We both passed our KJS in 77, and he chose to train as primary teacher strategically. I later learned from him that he met our former Maliera school teacher, head teacher, Mr. Odiembo at the teacher training college. Mr. Ochieng, that's now him addressing you finally. Your fruits will for long feed the present and the future generations. You have a footprint in the education sector. It's a demonstration that it matters less where you start in life when you focus on lifelong goal. What you need is to give your focus the energy, thoughts, and commitment to values. So that can bring us to the end of maybe what a professor says on Ochieng. So the rest of the stuff you'll read from there, but I'm not going into that now. When you get the book, please read through. Thank you so much.
Just to add, Professor Bebe Omedo is married to Doto Wandeu. In fact, we normally interact with him most of the time. And even when Upil Ndeda lost his child, that is when we met again to do what is called a reflection of a high school journey and what an individual is at the moment. So I owe a lot of respect to Professor Medo because he knows my ability. In fact, there was a time I was almost inviting him to be a guest speaker in one of the schools that I'm a member of the board. But fortunately, because of the commitment of the professors in terms of research, in terms of academic, he didn't get time. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much, the audience. I know it does tend to be boring to some extent, but at least it was the D-Day for the occasion. Otherwise, thank you very much.
I think we are coming to the end of this, so we need to officially launch the book with the cake cracking session. So if you want to buy the book, Professor Fuller, you know the cost to the book. Somebody might say I'm making profit. Also the cost at production. Cost at production, it's a big book, it's 3,000 Kenya shillings. I've seen the cost on Amazon, some $30-something. Oh, $32. That's how much Kenya shilling now. But that's if you get it all the way from the US. When it comes here, you pay tax, that kind of thing. So, the number is 0713. That's Mwalimu's number anyway. 861 798. So if you can send him M-Pesa on that number for the book, it will help to produce more copies for the generation. It is his day. Also, if you want to give him a Thanksgiving, that number can be useful. There are few names that after that I will read to come and receive the book, and then that will be the end of the session. So I'm hereby asking the cake cutting team.
We are not going to cut the cake, so the theme of this cake, it was made with passion fruit, given that you had a passion for education, so this was made with that fruit.
Thank you.
So you just
start.
Yes.
Okay.
Kata, 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 usiogope, kata, kata, usiogope, kata, keki usiogope, kata keki usiogope, kata keki usiogope, kata keki usiogope, kata
Bani daktari kek matina ini.
It's okay, it's we'll be calling people to receive some books here. I'll start with Professor Adam Solo to be officially handed over the book, and will be autographed. So he will officially autograph the book for you. So Professor Adam Solo receives his book from Mwalimu Ochieng. He'll autograph it for you. Okay, the young man is here. Very good. You'll autograph that shortly. To Professor Adam Solo from Mwalimu Ochieng. And there's a young Adam Solo here, junior, coming. Yes, copyright. I want you to be a doctor, not political science. I'll talk to your dad later. Jared Lokolo Yengo, you have a book. Come, it's autographed for you. Madam Witness. Autograph. So those are our top-notch professionals receiving the books. Autograph from Ochieng. Well, officially handed over to the family of Naftali Okola, Jared Okola, the Okolas. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Now, number one, Madam Grace Ochieng needs to appear here to be given a book. Tina Neno, can you Tina, become a book on behalf of your mother? Okay. So that was officially for Madam Mrs. Ochieng. Esther Ochieng. Mrs. Ochieng, come, you get your book from your husband. Okay, make sure Liki reads that book. Betty Odero, I think she's not here. I will receive on behalf of Mrs. Betty Odero. Thank you. I officially received the book from my brother.
I hereby donate this book to Dr. Ong'Ech, who inspired me and to write something for the family. Thank you very much, my brother. I know it has been long, but the day has reached. Thank you.
Congratulations. As Nyapela is coming, Mary Atieno, Bika book, Nyogam, Mundogori Emmanuel Grosom. So, Mary Atieno, being the elder, sister, receives a book. Okay. Margaret Auma, come and receive the book. Okay.
My brother, thank you very much.
Nyapela, ini mumi wasomo. Nataka ino kisomo mangaini wase somo ni bika book.
Ero kamano. Wacho kamani kuo mari Nyasaye kimako maber.
to omiyi rito nyithindi be maber, biro chopo kama ne ok ichopie. Wawanto ne kwasomo, ning'isowa ni nyiri ok dwa ni ochulni pesa. Ni nyiri ok puonjo mana yawuoyi, mano ema ne omiyo ok wadhi skul. Koro ne wabet abeta, to rieko mar rito joma dhi somogo giduogo sa 6, giduogo sa 7, mano to nang'eyo kendo narito. Kata sani pod nyikwayo mango madhi somo, arito ang'e kaka dak kodgi, kendo adak kodgi kata nyikwayo kata bweny. Kaminena kachungani. Erokamano uru.
Erokamano Nyagombere. Nitedo nwaga lany maber ahinya kata bara nitedo maber. Erokamano. My elder brother Erotis Dalmas Ogola Ong'Ech bro receive 2 books. Awa mia achiel. Unu jo America wanya nyiewo book online bwana achiel.
Erokamano Mwalimu kuom ndiko. Erokamano kuom chiwo book. Erokamano Nyasaye omedi ndalo.
Nyithi japuonj te led by Vincent Onyango. Biuru kae, bugune mondiknu. All these children led by Vincent. I saw them, Tina, Celine. I've seen them now. They have arrived. Rhoda, all of you. Biuru abia kate. Ingeni. Ini nyathi japuonj bika. Mondo koro miu book. Udu som. Une mondiknu buguni. Ume nyithiu bendo som. So that will be your session with your family. Kionge kado buko bai. Aneno Tina Karin kai. Very good. Biro be ate. Buko mundi kunu. Kada moa mkure. Yes, all of you. Okay. Kuru Onyango lead the session. Taka kuru idwa wacho kimoro my session. One kuru watiga tiga. Onyango, this is your session with your siblings.
I was consulting my siblings. They're saying they're not willing to speak. I'll speak on their behalf. So Mwalimu, congratulations. And thank you for putting all the efforts that you have gone through your life. We as your children to enable us reach where we have reached. And we shall continue with the light. We shall follow in the footsteps and if possible even better what you've done. We are many, 15 of us as had been said. Some of us are here, so I don't know how you're going to give us the books. But we shall read the book and share amongst ourselves if they're not enough for all of us. And even as we move on, we wish you good life. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to manage this Bugedi room. Oro now, I'm managing order. Kwara chago first family. Onyango deserves a book. Ingodi. Congratulations. Tina Ingodi. Yeah, take a good photo. This thing is this is real. Now this is the climax. So make sure Nitindi, Yaodi, all of them read the book. Okay, Tina. Okay, make sure you pass over to your children. Irene, take also a copy for, I haven't seen Nani here selling. Oh, selling. Selling finally. Always late comer. It's being recorded. I'm recording you as always late comer. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Now I'll go there. Rhoda will take on behalf. Okay. Because you contributed. Okay, I'm getting confused here. Hold on, kidogo. Rhoda on behalf, eh? Valerie on behalf. 1 copy. Which you the new book online. Because you contributed, get 1. Because you contributed, you get 1. You don't have a guinea. Legacy continues through marriage and children. Hey, I know some people will not like this. Engineer is crying. Give her 1. And then we leave it at that. Leaky. Valerie has taken, okay?
So you deserve one. I know you have been involved. Don't worry, we'll work out something. I will leave it at that now. Vicky, don't worry. This book is about you guys. Jamo konwango bione na privately. I see a name of my son here. I don't know whether he's here. Jeremy Odero. Humphrey, are you there? We'll give Jeremy and Humphrey the rest. I will sort them out. Humphrey, there's a promise you had. That's why I've nominated you to get. Okay, what do you want to say? You haven't said anything here, Bwana.
My name is Humphrey. I promise to live up to the great legacy you've brought, and I won't let you down. Yeah.
What do you want to be?
I want to be an electrical engineer.
Okay. You can have the book now.
Thank you.
Okay, Humphrey is my son. We are waiting for his results. Jeremy is IT, BBIT, and IT, my firstborn son. Okay. But Jeremy is going to receive the book on behalf of ZP Odero and on behalf of, we have two Ong'Echs here. Jeremy Ong'Ech, Jerry Ong'Ech. And so he's going to the book on behalf of ZP Ochieng Odero and Jerry Ong'Ech Odero. It's also called Jeremy Ong'Ech Odero. So he's giving a book on your behalf.
Thank you very much.
You want to say something?
Thank you, Uncle.
Thank you. Last, Maseri. You had been given, so just beer on whatever. Jackson Bonde. Japuony. Japuony. Eno kutagre kusiopini kabisa. They saw me.
Congratulations. Okay, come at you again.
I think when I see Bonde, I see Okecho Joa. Samuel Okecho Joa. Samuel Okecho Joa. Come and receive your book and say a comment in 30 seconds to be captured there. When I see Ochieng, I see Okecho Joa. I see Okecho Joa, I see Ochieng Ong'Ech. What can you say as a teacher who, you went to Kisi school? Yeah. If you are given 45 seconds something about your friend, as you have received the book, what can you say?
Ochieng was a sociable friend of mine. Ochieng was great and remains great. But I want to say something on Daktari. Daktari, allow me to say this. Daktari assisted me one time in fundraising. And that boy is back in the country. He really wanted to be here and he's on the way. He's coming tomorrow. He's reaching tomorrow. God bless you. He went to New Zealand.
We'll give him a book if he comes from New Zealand. Let him also inspire others, okay?
He's coming back with PhD in statistics. He has refused.
So, we were part of the journey of his son having acquired PhD in statistics from New Zealand. Congratulations, Mwalimu. So he's now called Doctor. Yeah, the people who have done PhD are here, Ingodale Adams. PhD is very rare. I think we only have 2 PhDs here. Afolo did his post PhD as well. Adams did his. I was a witness. I don't have a PhD, but I have 2 masters. Okay. Obura had received this, huh? Professor Adams, Gerald, CDF, Bondo, representative.
I hold 2 offices, by the way. The office of National Government Constituency Development Fund, Bondo constituency. If there is a representative, Sia County Bursary Committee, where I chair. If there is a representative, time is now. Thank you.
I will repeat the number. The books are available. If you have sent, come, you receive your book. It is 0713 861 798. You come and show your M-Pesa, you get your book. It's autographed. There are a few copies available here. You can go home with it. You've graced the occasion. I can see serious entrepreneur, Bernard Wanjira here. People who are building impossible houses in this county. I'm sure his house is impossible. Meguna here. Ben, I'm sure you have already sent the money, so you can just receive the book. Mwalimu, you can confirm. Can Fred here. Anybody who has sent the money wants to see the book, Moses Appel, there's nothing for free here. Akina Muda Gokiri, Silas Oji, they say Pesa, very good. Go come and receive the book. Cash is also is acceptable. Oh, one advocate. This advocate of the High Court, Winnie Adam, Pesa Mokotio, Winnie is buying a book. Maradam, so there's so much makende. Obeying on her own right. She's buying a book. Yes. Manya Migori, all the way from Migori. Oh, I'm in Nairobi book launch. Have you gotten me? They are limited copies. Bernard Gawanjira has a long story with Jabana. You watch your can in the out one book. Jokanjira wa maburu Ochieng Ong'Ech mere.
Erokamano Mwalimu luonga and a big part of this book launch. Mwalimu Ong'Ech and the entire Ong'Ech family gin a very long history gi Japuonj Wanjira. In fact, negi upuonjo nyaka kode kasao. To Japuonj Wanjira nen osiep Mwalimu Ong'Ech kabisa. Yes, kata in his demise, Mwalimu no support wa kabisa, mane wago erokamano. We were deeply honored and humbled to be part of this launch. Thank you very much. And I think I'm going to read the book and see inspiring stories about your life history and how you struggled in your youth life until you became who you are today. Thank you very much.
We are taking a picture of the Wanjiras. This is the only time. Pesamia ko Mombasa, where? So these are the Wanjiras. Hey, introduce me.
Yes. On my immediate right, Nicholas Wanjira.
Mwalimu, congratulations. And okay, a challenge, but hapa ni kingeko. Then Daktari, we are very, very much thankful for you. I work with Daktari back in Nairobi. So to Mwalimu's family, Vincent, hapa ni mi baton. See me baton koro inge kakeringe. Erokamano.
Yes, on my immediate left, and Frederick Wanjira.
Mwalimu, congratulations. I've been a friend of this home for quite some time. Can I put a Nairobi? Nene wari ingo Daktari gik moko ma social iluongo ni CSR. No watimo quite a lot of things. Jaduong be nene a great friend of mine. At one point, aparo jaduong ne ngeraga. Not wami anyako. Koro put on very much available. Jaduong ne kept on saying that. I don't know why. To ne one very great friends at one point na parogani maybe we were even relatives, but later on aduoga fwenyo ne kara ne un joka muhore to wan joka dimo koro kara gino an mana miss the point, but pod abro revisit pod okagini na hinya pod I'm still very young. Otherwise, thank you very much Mwalimu for the invite.
Ani luonga ni Omondi, ani maduongka. Ni japuonj nang'eyo chon. Kanu puonjo gi fathe nadhiga kasao kacha, talime kacha, to kanu wasombar Kanyango secondary. To noja encourage waga ni awinjo ka dak Prof Afulo wacho gimoro ka ni bedango bed but buk ber biro bang'e. Mane gima Ong'ech bene wacho kinde cha. Koro ka Afulo bende wacho ta aneno mana ka gima ne Mwalimu mane owacho mondo owach gino. Koro Mwalimu, congratulations ma launch bugni. To kabed jaduong' nitie bende dwa nyisi bo time gimitimoni. Mane to koro havrach Nyasaye nosekawe. En koro ywe mayom. Erokamano. Professor Juma Mbira. Mano siepa Mwalimu kabisa. Onyalo wacho na achiel ariyo.
Okay, namor kaneno kae kwan ko Mwalimu kae kendo abe namor gi chunya. Wan yo obedo joma invited gi Mwalimu to kuom hera mohero wago mino kwa pong kae. Apani jom guna ng'eny zaidi ka kabisa. Hera mai kindwa kode. Koro antan go wetenagi abiro kodgi mondo warwak Mwalimu maber. To Nyasaye mondo par Mwalimu hera ma en gono maintain akaw mnaero kama nan Charles Juma Mbira.
There is one thing that I want to say about Omondi. Omondi, during our visit in Mombasa, you know, I attended several conferences in Mombasa. Omondi was an organizer and took the lead in taking care of us. Kechuja, you are a witness to that. And we appreciate. And that emanated from the relationship that we built with the father. Lastly, I want to say that my going to Kasau made open up an avenue for all the children in this village to be going to Kasau. Though I have even children who are taught by the late Jackson Wanjira. Can you just wave? If the Wanjira was your head teacher, Moi University, Christine Okeo, those ones. Thank you very much, my Wanjira family.
Yeah, and Kasau, I remember Ruth Amina, who scored A of 83 from Nakuru. Girls, right now she's on her way to the States to practice in the States. That's from this village, so it's a big thing. I don't think anybody ever broke Amina's record in Form 4. Yeah, she remains a big. Very good. Omere nyaka change mori vie kanyo.
Gimanya wacho en ni japuonj miwa a lesson kaka wan joma achien. Ma en ranyisi ni onego bed ni timni ber e gweng' to kod community mari. Akwayo joma tindo ka wan. In ka wawach ni gini en about resilient. Are you resilient enough? To bende kiti chalo nade gweng'. To kiti chalo nade community mari. Erokamano japuonj kuom change ko society. Society ichange go book. Awinjo ni bed but book, ber book biro bang'e. Erokamano.
Jopuonj ariyo ka madwa nyiewo ni book. Jopuonj ariyo ka iluongo ni Onyango Spem. Anyiewo ni book, Owiti Ong'ang. Mage jopuonj mane puonjo chon ka dongo. Owiti anyiewo ni book, Owiti Ong'ang. Nyari menyo kadho penj bende obenyo nyuola nyako moro kadho penj over 400 dhi National School Asumbi. Mago un ji ariyo ne pani auro M-Pesa sani pioneers mag education. Koro ku receive book. Joyce, congratulations for scoring over 400 and going to Asumbi National School. This is about education. So your father is going to have a book. I'll give you my book. You go read. I give you officially symbolic. This is Mwalimu's copy, but I'll give you one in my home. So you appear. I want you to be a doctor. 400 marks and above is A. Going to Asumbi from the village is a big thing. So you're going to be a doctor. So let's your dad receive that book first.
Adwoko erokamano ni nyasi machalo koda ma. Ji matin ahinya moseritaya matimo ma. Kikine meru koti tiweno nyuole koti. Ube at one stage ne en nyako matin makamiel sport mgwena to piny lich. Adwa paro ni kochiengo ai college 1981 teka benda donji college Shanzu Mombasa. Book manadhi go i college nenagolo kuom Ochieng. Erokamano. Kase ai college watima lot gochieng Ochieng akeni ndike ka Cusco. Ka wan Ochieng ni ae bondo teachers sako ta asia teachers sako one delegates national delegates mag Cusco Kenya. Wadonyo Serena anindi od daktari adhi Grand Regency anindi oda ne watima lot. Erokamano Ong'Ech abenda bedno ki kakoro ng'eny ahinya to dawe legacy moro mar ndiko book, otherwise I'm grateful.
Ko nyako ni nyiriek. Kona lamo ni be doctor. This thing is going to be the YouTube. Tomorrow, one day, even if I'm gone, you'll Google and you'll see it. So you going to get this book. How does it read?
Dr. John Odero Ong'Ech, In the Dreams of My Father.
So I hereby give you this book also to do something in legacy of your father.
Thank you.
So when you go to Asumbi, read hard. And you'll be sending me reports every time, okay? We want you to agree. In this home, there's a doctor, her daughter, can mentor you, Dr. Lavender. She went to Nyamira Girls, okay? So we want you to be a doctor, okay? Oma, what did you want to be?
My dream career was being a lecturer.
Okay, so you can teach at the university, and I want you to pass and teach a great lecturer. That's Professor Adam. He teaches at the University of Nairobi, okay? So that you can fire you, okay? So he's a lecturer, he's a dean, he's a big person, professor of political science. He has done PhD. So if you are a dream, you have many people to mentor you, okay? So, in Kamuhuri, there were first two teachers were Onyango Spim, Ong'Ech. Nakanyo ni book. Ma ora mpesa sani. Japuonj. Kuongeka buki ko gine ki uwe matin.
Mamor mondo oketa malo kawuono aidho ndege mapok na aidho ga. Kama iwuoda mane wapongo en nyathi bang'wa. Owadgi moluwo Embasna. To ne passport nitie aneno bwana moko bitunka ni Jared no ebani wagochogo Olumbe Pauraha. To Jared no wasomo go Josa. To kan wago mipira adhurne go ga number 11. Kora cham. Nwaluonge na dhur mayaka. Kochwano mipira cha to nyaka lu. To mar ariyo ne okotuga ng'ato. Kikwinyo ng'ato. Emomiyo nochaki na dhur. Ochwadi achiel tin piny. Mane momiyo awacho na idho ndege mapok na idho gae. To kaka japuonjo wito Onyango wacho, witi wapuonjogo. To witi wapuonjogo. Owacho wach maber ni gini wan ma onego bed ni wakwongo watimo. Timilani. To wantiere obawa owito wacho ni law merukoti. Merukoti kikichai ni nyako ni ne wang'o jwajni. Samone wang'e ne yomie emomiyo nineno Olumbe Pauraha. Erokamano. Wuoda, Nyasaye ogwedhi.
Maka oima kiwacho education nyaka wuo. Apani koro watieko. Koro ales ni koro ibedo gi closing remark. Tabro luongo Pastor Anyango Kelo Michael mondo otiek the occasion.
I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank everybody who have graced this occasion. In fact, I'm carried high and I feel great. I didn't know that it could turn this way. I want to also thank Ong'Ech family. You have really sacrificed during this hard time of transport. I saw something posted yesterday and I was really praying for you because you have come from far. There are some who have come from Awasi, those who have come from Beta, those who have come from Nairobi, Kinawa Selin. God is great. I appreciate your effort and commitment. Indeed, even if you deny me anything, but your presence has really made me happy. Oh, Kina Rhoda, continue with that leadership. And there is no reverse. Forward ever, backward never. Malima na mabonde ziko, lakini don't worry. That is how life is. Yeah, the highs and the lows of life is there. I want to thank Dr. Ochieng Ong'Ech, brother. And I want to tell you that if you want to know the intimacy that I have with this gentleman, read his write-up. It is there. And he has made several quotes about brotherhood. You will get exactly the gist of the matter. I believe Nick is going to analyze the script and really interpret it well because he has so many brothers. Thank you very much, brother, for... in fact, I didn't mean that it was not you. Me, I'd put things down. I said, okay, this is life. Life is like this, but life must go on. We must surge ahead. But thank you very much. I want to thank Kamhorians, led by none other than Samuel Otieno. Otieno, stand up. In Nyakasungi, Larry is not there. And you in mingeo ni naratego. Kawago abisidi. Kalwe nyu to nyaka. Mpira na ulo. Mose jogi matini hawa. Okinyali bede na makilosuka. Yeah, briefly, very briefly. Yeah, thank you very much. Samuel Otieno wadongo go, but na kuongo ni Martin tu. To gik matimo teo neno nikeche owadi gi malaru ne wan go together. Otherwise, thank you. Say something.
Ya erokamano. Anenu enudo wadwa taduonga ngado palo nyamuga. Japuonjo Ochieng erokamano ahinya kuom loso nyasi makama eri. Japuonjo Ochieng na kako tieko wacho ne wapon kode to oyombo wa matin. Anyalo paro kata mna ne tek mondo idhi Kasau kata kwa nwaso majengo to Ochieng ni ene konyowa gik mang'eny ahinya. Kani ituko kodwa ti yuda dhong sano. Kata mipira mnego ipap kar ka ira neno jared ko wacho. Ochieng neno keto akod mor ka spem to an koran mni gol. To koro ng'ama be muome oikende ka jorom gieki. Oikende ng'ata achiel pap to bende nyaka nwalalo mpira bende. Mano nyaka pa Kenya muga ok puonj kende gik mane ng'eny ne beyo kabisa. Thank you. Ago erokamano ahinya palu kuom gima chal kama ero. Erokamano ahinya.
Erokamano Samuel, thank you very much. I'm concluding. Wacho na go ni jidu to erokamano. Thank you very much. Hey, Professor Adams, you have made me great. You see, I didn't even imagine that one day you will step into my compound. But through courtesy and grace of God, I've seen it today. Thank you, Prof. I'm grateful. Wanjira, thank you. Everybody, thank you. Ambega, I'm a board member of Majengo Secondary. Just stand and wave. You have represented all the teaching staff of Majengo Secondary. Thank you very much. I thank everybody. Oje, jaluoka nevi godala. Nyakitingango. But because I said that, I was preparing you, Margo Dala. And indeed, I know you are just about. Thank you very much. Otherwise, thank you. Call upon somebody to lead in prayer. Hey.
Vincent Onyango has some small vote of thanks, and then Michael, get ready.
My role is to say thank you. But before that, I want to thank everyone who has come. When this event was planned, we also had, I also had friends of mine who were supposed to come here. And I can see the age bracket 35 and above. We are no longer youths now. They are well presented. So I recognize the presence of Pastor Julius Guda. Julius, just stand. I also thank classmate Victor Ochieng, seated next to you. Just stand. One thing I have to say is Victor standing there is also about to publish a novella. So Victor went to Barkanyango Secondary School with me and Julius, and we're also proud that he's about to publish his novella. So Victor and Julius, due to public demand, come in front where I'm standing. I think I also saw Michael Okelo somewhere. When I turn my back, Aguara just come. Yeah, so Aguara is also with me. So these are peers. We are peers. We are of the same age bracket. Went to school, Barkanyanga alumni. We are all here, Kasao Primary School. Of course, Victor went to Duro, but we are all happy to be here. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Pastor. I think during my primary school, we were with Obero Chris. Chris Bembasna, Basung Embasna. Biabia Jacoel. Moses, we are of the same age, the same year, the same age. Waromre. Yogi Romre kaka Waromre ni. 1986, we are all born as we are standing here. So, and we come from, of course, we share the rich history, Appellas and Ong'Echs. So thank you for coming. I think that part I wanted to say. So first of all, if I give my vote of thanks, so I thank for the Almighty God for today. It's a day that we were looking forward to, and finally the God has made us reach this day. So I have to thank the Almighty God for that. I'll also thank the colleague teachers of my father. I know some are not here, but there's some people who have been represented, but the sons of teachers are here. It is captured here. So Dennis Openji, you are very here. So just wave. Yeah, so Dennis Openji, when you were in primary school, his father was our head teacher. I think at that time Dan was there. Dan Ragak, that time Kiboko Knayot. His father was not a very merciful person. So if you do something wrong, you will receive the stroke. So thank you, Dennis. I've said that. So so for all the teacher colleagues for my father, thank you for coming for this occasion. The circle fraternity, I think we all saw them here. I saw them when I was growing up. They used to come here. I used to see the politics of the teachers then as I was a young boy. The family members, the Ong'Ech family members, we have very many. Thank you, Christine, the senior grandchildren of Ong'Ech, Christine, Kennedy, Millie. I think we are the seniors. The others were born after us. Also, thank you for coming. I also thank, of course, the community members. Yokamorete. I think they were here in good numbers. Also, we thank you for coming. All the friends of the Ong'Ech family, there are very many. They were all here. So I also thank all of them for coming. Lastly, I also want to thank, of course, my mother, Grace and Esther, for taking good care of my father and also being present today. And lastly, I think I also need to thank Daktari most sincerely for ensuring that my father's book was documented with the guidance of course, the writer, Professor Fuller. Professor Fuller for taking the write-ups and also putting the writings together. It was not easy to write, and we had very short timelines to do this. So I think I thank all of us for today, and as we travel back, even as we continue with the festive activities, May we enjoy peacefully and gracefully, and even as we pray to God to lead us into the new year. Over and above, I think I will stop there and hand over the microphone to the person who is going to pray.
Achako kawacho ni erokamano ni Nyasaye. Bende awacho ni nadhi maliera kane mwalimu ne limo waga e skul moro game kucha, koro nahero kumosome ne ma monda benda some. Noluonga Sawagongo, anyiso owadwa ne kumanyocha japuonj some ema be adhiye. Ayudo ko loso nying soka kanyo, koro namba mano otugo no ema ba donje namba 11 gore mapek. Haya, aparo ni jaduong' dola abed mangima kawuono. Jaduong' adomiel ndi. Kinde duto jaduong' ne dwaro ni kilime to en mana limo. Omiyo aparo ni lembe manolamo ni ji ni nyithinde obedo gi tiende momiyo koro waneno nyakni. Gik moko ji ok tim nikech luoro. Isaiah 43 kare 2 wacho ni kata ukadho e pige matut to an kodu. Kare 5 wacho ni kik ubed maluor nikech Nyasachu ni kodu. Luoro miyowa ok wanyal timo gik moko e ngimawa kata mwanyalo. Japuonj osebedo motegno kendo modhil emomiyo timo ma. Omiyo joma gombo luoro ma pod otamou, encourage ni mondo luoro Nyasaye oriembe ngimau mondo gik mabeyo machal kama watim. Ginyinga iluonga ni Michael Onyango, kelo an wuoda bei lokacha.
Our Father and our God, we bless your name because of this great day that you've given unto us. You are our God, you are our Lord. Father, we exalt, we worship you. We bless your name, God Almighty, because of your goodness. Thank you because of your faithfulness. Our Father and our God, we stand in this home today, King of Glory, to say that we have come to this place to celebrate that which you've done to this family. You've blessed Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech and his family, King of Glory. You have been gracious unto them and you've lifted them, Lord, from one glory to another. You've taken away every shame that they walked into. And Father, Lord Almighty, you've made them to be called a blessed family. This day, Lord my God, my Father, we stand in this place to say that this far you are Ebenezer. To say that this far, Lord, we've seen your hand, O King of Glory. I stand in this place, Lord, as your servant, and I pronounce your blessing unto every child and every sibling of this family. The Lord, my God, my Father, you may be with them and you may be gracious unto them. I pray that may your favor accompany them, O King of Glory. I pray for the guidance of the Holy Spirit. I pray, Lord, my God, my Father, that in everything that they do, I surrender unto your able hand. How I pray that you may have your way. My Father, my God, I stand in this place and commit Mama Grace and your able hand. I pray for your divine healing, oh Lord. Anything that is impossible with men, God, my Father, it is possible with you. I believe deep in my heart, O King of Glory, that healing is in your hand and healing is in your power. I pray, Father, that you may do them good for the glory and honor of your name. I pray, Father, that may your peace bind them together. I pray, King of Glory, that may Mr. Ochieng Ong'Ech enjoy being with these children. For your word says in the book of Psalms 27 that children are the heritage of the Most High God, and they are the arrows that a father can have. How I pray, my Father, my God, that you may make the children of this home be a blessing to their father. We love you, Lord. We worship you. We exalt you, bless you. We declare there is none like you. Receive all the glory and honor. Receive our adoration. For your worthy, you're great. In Jesus' mighty name we pray, and God, we give you thanks.
Erokamano Nyasachi ng'wono, wuoro ma nyalo gik moko duto. Erokamano kuom ne keto jaduong' Ong'ech dola e piny ka. Erokamano Nyasaye manyalo gik moko duto, iseneno oganda mane osekweyo e piny ka e wuoro. Erokamano kuom timo ng'wono mar ketogi e bwo piny ka e wuoro. Wakwayi Ruoth mang'won ni med ritogi, med umogi, Nyasaye manyalo gik moko duto. Ne mana magi maua duto makoro timre e toke, to mana nikech puonj mare Nyasaye. Mad kuma nindi onind gi kwe wuoro. Erokamano kuom kelo oganda ni duto mondo bi wariwre kodgi kae Nyasaye. In Nyasaye manyalo gik moko duto, bende wang'eyo ni pod ibiro nyalo. Koro wachopo kuma koro wadwa tieke nyasi manende ilosonwa kae Nyasaye. Erokamano kuom miyo nyasi obedo successful up to this end. Nyasaye manyalo gik moko duto, wasechopo e giko, koro wadwa kere Nyasaye. Mar jok madong' ka irit kuom ng'wononi, jok mawuok ka e wuoro madwa dhi gi gari Nyasaye, ibed dereba margi Nyasaye. Madwa wuotho, ibed dereba gi Nyasaye. Bende wanie ndalo mar rapar mar nyuol wuodi Yesu Kristo Nyasaye. Madimiwa rita maber kwa celebrate this occasion Jehovah. Koro ka giwuok kae Nyasaye, to mondo iritgi kendo wawinj ni ng'ato ka ng'ato chopo maber, to mana kuom ng'wononi e nying Yesu Kristo Ruodhwa.
Guests can now leave at their own pleasure.